All right. Again, Avengers, and welcome to another.
Love that
Sorry,
EYO.
I just heard
My
my
favorite
voice.
feature.
That was my fault. It auto unmuted, and I don't know why. And it came through my speakers
No,
instead of my
I just
headphones.
had that issue earlier. For some reason, like no, only this is coming through my headphones and not everything else.
Yeah,
I'm like,
first
that's
my
weird.
Roll20s in
Fun.
Portuguese, and now my Twitch has decided that it must be heard.
Hi,
Um,
everybody.
Switched to Turkish last
Welcome to
night.
Tears of the Realm. This is definitely a very high quality production. We worked very hard to make sure everything is working exactly what it's supposed to.
I'm definitely not finishing the next layout as you intro. Right
It's okay.
Vamp harder, vamp
take a
harder.
Hi,
while to get
everybody.
there, Elias.
Announcements. First thing, you guys may notice that there seems to not only just be a full cast, which is super cool,
What?
but we have another person here. I would like to introduce you to Daddy Lou. Daddy, if you'd like to kind of introduce yourself however you would like.
Oh, well, hi, I'm Dottie. I'm a person on the internet. IRL, I'm a veterinary pathologist. I spend a lot of time doing
Ooh.
postmortems on dead animals and looking at pieces of live animals and figuring out what is going wrong with critters. It's fascinating, and I love solving mysteries, so it's kind of right up my alley.
You do necropsies.
I do, yes. You know the term.
This explains
How
the
down
bone
are
thing
you
they were
for
talking
like
about.
people asking you weird questions after bring this? it on.
Ilea's face that like Ilea lit up like a goddamn Christmas tree when you said that.
But
I
yeah,
like dead
I am
things.
all about the creepy and the weird and the
You have come to the
strange.
right place.
So I am delighted by all the conversations that we've had up to now. On the internet, I play way too much World of Warcraft. I love gaming. I love music, and I met Jody through Twitch Sings, and we met singing together, and he thankfully tracked me down afterwards and says, "Hey, do you do any D&D?" I've done very little D&D in the past. I've never really actually done like a full out campaign for long periods of time. So I am very much in learning mode and excited to play and have fun. So I'm very excited to be here, and I'm thrilled to meet everybody. It's a fascinating group so far.
Sorry, I have to ask, Jody, is she adoptable?
Yeah, same. Are you taking friend applications?
Yes.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yes,
Awesome.
I'm definitely.
Also, if you guys do check out her stream, the thing you need to focus on when watching her play WoW, I mean, she's very good. She does Mythic Plus runs and all these really cool stuff. But the best thing about her WoW is her character names. They are amazing.
What's a character name?
Well,
Which
the
one do you
first,
want to go with?
my original mage back in the day was Dottie Lou, who's named after my grandmother, Dorothy. And after that, I just named. I'm very fond of being called Dottie because I lost my grandmother when she was younger, so it was my way of keeping her close. So all of my characters are Dottie something. So my monk is Dottie Foo. My Death Knight is Dottie Flu. What else? My demon hunter is Dot Prepared. Lots of puns.
I like it.
That
You're not
explains
prepared.
why Jody likes him so much.
Sorry, I like puns.
Yeah.
We may have had a pun battle or two.
Yeah, it was great. So, Daddy and I were, I was lucky enough to find her on Twitch Sings, and we sang, I can't remember, I know we sang the actual, The Phantom of the Opera is there, which is fun because I'm a bass, and as much as they claim the Phantom is a baritone, he's a very
tenor.
high baritone.
I feel like we
Um,
talk about singing pitches every episode.
We do. Fun
Half
fact,
of us
Guys,
are
most of us
vocalists.
sing.
more than
Hello?
And all of us are into musical theater minus Elias.
who did a musical theater in the past.
And
So
then
we're just
we may
re-traumatizing him.
we may or may not have sang That's All I Ask of You, because that was my other Phantom song I used to sing.
Jody, have I told you that I performed both parts of Phantom of the Opera for my freshman year high school talent show?
Did you hit
Impressive.
the E?
I did not because I can hit an E flat. I'm right below it.
Oh
Half
no!
step.
It's a
I was also
killer,
14.
no.
Yeah.
People were debating if there were two people under the cloak singing the parts.
That
So
is very, very cool.
it
My
has a
sister,
place in my heart.
my sister did, I think when she was like a junior or senior for solo and ensemble, she did what is it? Think of me
Love doing that
fondly.
one. Yeah.
And that she was I think she was a second soprano, and so that last
Yeah, it goes up to a B flat for that one.
I think at one point she could hit it, but it was kind of hit or miss for that. I remember I got cast in South Pacific. I tried for Emil because that's a part I can sing, and I got cast as Lieutenant Cable, which is a tenor and a high tenor at that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got, for the most part, it's not too bad. It's the damn Younger Than Springtime where you ended off with
Mhm.
and my
Fun-
girlfriend at the time was playing Liat.
So, fun fact, Juanita Hall
Another fun
was the first Black actress to win the Best Featured Actress Tony Award, and it was for playing Bloody Mary in South Pacific in 1950. I'm doing Black History Month trivia on TikTok, but I'm going to take a break for this weekend to do Chinese Lunar New Year trivia. That is still related to Broadway.
Very cool.
So all of the trivia is related to Broadway, or just the Lunar?
It's
New Year?
Broadway trivia.
Oh,
It is Broadway / musical theater trivia.
Yep.
So
So anyway,
didn't realize that was the account.
that's the theme.
Yep.
so we will be meeting Dottie's character in a little bit. In addition to
Our
that,
goal is to stall for 2 hours in game so that Dottie's character never actually shows up.
And then Dottie has to come back
No.
next week.
I mean, can't she just come back anyway?
Yes.
in addition to that,
Sorry, executive decision. Yes.
Chax is
Um,
our executive, so it is now known and it is now official.
it's really great that the three producers that are a part of this have just now been told who their executive is.
I mean,
Um,
I
I've been
mean, it's a
known this whole
democracy,
time.
Speaking of-
and we all vote for Chax.
Look
so.
at Chax's hair.
10 seconds,
Look
the
at
first 10
Chax's
seconds.
glasses. The amount of times Chax has come in with an amazing bow tie. I just need to tell. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
It's
just
just
pure
Chax's
executive
no,
Chax-
it's not even
Yes,
my show
thank you.
anymore. This is Jackson's show. Speaking of
Well, you brought
producers
Chax in, so whose fault
and
is that?
the media director for Zelda Universe and the Twitch director for Zelda Universe, do we have announcements involving ZU?
Not really.
Stuff is happening behind the scenes. I
I was
know
gonna
because I
say,
read the meeting
this is
notes.
where I throw
Say-
the shade of like, I mean, you guys don't usually act like the producer.
Wow.
Chax
Wow.
on top of it.
Excuse me?
Chax would know all the things.
Right in front of my salad? Are you serious?
In front of your salad?
We can't
For
see your salad.
breakfast?
It's not in frame.
Exactly.
You're having salad for breakfast?
No.
What
No
sad
reference.
life has happened to you? Stop it.
I had a
All of 'em.
burrito.
All of them.
Oh my God.
I will say, we are. I mean, it's February. Not a lot of Nintendo news has happened as of yet. So while we are waiting for Nintendo to announce some things, we're just kind of keeping things chill. That being said, later today, friend of the show, Forrest Minish, is doing a fun little parody Nintendo indirect stream. That
Oh, yeah!
if you want to just have a fun time with vibes with a friend of the ZU channel, with some stuff that Mary might have worked on.
No, she
Go
definitely
check it
worked
out.
on There's no way she didn't.
Oh no, I know she did. She was like,
Mar-
you better watch it. To me
For anyone that doesn't
yesterday.
know, Mary is the marketing person for ZU, and she's lovely, and she
Mary
always wants a cookie.
These are
Yeah,
all people
that's-
who help out with ZU but refuse to be on the show.
Don't worry, I'm slowly wearing them
I'm trying
down.
to fight her to get. I'm trying to get them into TTRPGs first, and then we like look.
Oh, I've
Baldur's
already-
Gate
I
was
already
the
got-
start.
I already got Mary to agree to guest. I just have to find a time to get her on. So
Oh, good.
I've been wearing down Amanda. If I can ever get in contact with Rebecca, I'll try her too. I'm good as someone that just manipulates people to be on my D&D shows.
We could use a
It's
different
a
word
very
than
interesting way
manipulate.
to put it.
I like to pitch people. I mean, I've been pitching Mary for D&D for a while, and then Mary got Baldur's Gate. So now I have more of a reason to be like, hey, let's play more D&D.
So
And I'll put a star in it or something. I don't know.
Influence
Don't
would
do
have been a
that.
kinder way to say what you said, Jody.
He did.
yeah, no, it's anyway. So unless we have other announcer style stuff, my clock is upside
I
down.
might stream tomorrow. If you want to see me rewrite things about hashtag my disabled life is worthy and the partnering with X Pride Month meme, come to my stream. This work. Yay. That's how I get it done.
I have another Metroid race tomorrow.
Yay!
That's it.
I would suggest supporting Elias over watching me write my dissertation.
I don't even know where it is.
Bardito. Sorry. I don't know why I think anytime I read the word burrito, my brain says Bardito, but that's how it
Well,
works.
you also say
Look, it was very
announcer
cold last
remnants
night,
the whole
and I was a
every time.
bardito. I was a little burrito bard in a burrito.
Vera,
All
my
right.
next Baldur's Gate character, that name.
I think it is time for us to return to Tears of the Realms.
I forgot to open Roll20.
The world is in peril. After escaping from the Library of Lost Knowledge as the doors closed behind them, the party retreated to a local inn to rest and recover. And while they were there, they discovered that one of the many tears in the sky had shattered and rained teardrops all over Hyrule. Seeing this as a possible bad omen, Arel came after being called by Zariah to take the group back to the Tears Court to discuss the possible ramifications. After getting there, they discovered that before the tear in the sky burst, a strange, slow-moving beam of light came from Tear Prime. So they inferred that Etsu Korimala must have discovered some way to interact with other tears. Realizing this could be extremely bad for Hyrule, the party agreed to immediately head off to the next tier in hopes of discovering more of the origins of these giant crystals in the sky, and hopefully to find more allies. Also, there was a whole bonding thing between Zariah and Kess, and it was very nice.
This is very cute. Also, Adesh and I read and studied and found things out about past world-ending events that I wish I could fully remember, but I have a migraine right now, and I don't.
One was a flood, and one was like magic nuke, I think, or something.
Yeah, it was just war and bad stuff.
So worlds end every so often. That being said, all of you have had the
Sorry, I'm gonna
time
correct that
to.
statement. Worlds don't end, worlds reset. Because the world is still here.
Fair point. You guys have all had to the time to rest and prepare for this. Is there any other kind of prep work you guys would like to do? Because you guys got back relatively late at night, and so they had you guys, get some sleep, and you're going to be heading to your next tier in as early in the morning as possible.
I assume that Dilly goes to Motto and checks on the progress of the little project.
A secret project.
This cryptic conversation is driving me crazy.
I would like to
Okay,
ambiguously
I'm expecting it
inquire
to be
about
the
the
most-
project I have specified you to work on before this aforementioned date.
Well, that sounds like an Elias way of approaching it. Dilly would be more like, "Hey, so what you got?"
Okay. So it's still kind of working out some of the schematics. It's not. Sorry, I'm also going into my phone texted me. Make sure I'm like, let me make sure I remember all the specific things with this. 1 second here as I pull up that note. Okay. So I'm trying to see if I can just like reinforce it as like a shield to make sure it can, like to see like the specific like density with it, because it could also be used for other things too. I do have like a very aiming it, like trying to make one of those is weird, so I'm still trying to come up with that.
Yeah, I mean, if it could be used for attack and defense, that would be cool. Because I think that those things could potentially do a lot of damage if we get enough spin on it.
How do I
Yeah,
have less
maybe.
of an idea of what you're talking about?
Yeah. I could, yeah, and maybe find a way that you could do it, and then you could press a button, and then it'll like boom, and then it'll be able to have that extra shielding.
That would be cool.
I don't know. Maybe we'll find something in this new tier that we're going to.
Okay, yeah. So Pilfer Tech.
What?
Pilfer Tech. Okay. And Dilly walks away.
I was hoping. Well,
Pilfer tech? Like you're just gonna steal technology? Is that what?
Yes, I was
we're
using
not gonna.
pilfer.
We're not gonna steal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
No, that is
pilfer. I heard
pilfering.
like kill fur. It's like
No.
that's
Pilfer.
So
Yeah.
we just balanced between Shax heard what Zulta would say,
Yeah.
but what you actually said is what Cass would say. We're balancing between those two personalities right now. Pilfer
mean-
tech. No.
Why can't you do both?
Porque no. We had
Los
a
dos.
weirdly in-depth conversation because my wife was asking like, is there a morality difference between scavenging, like picking something off a body that is already dead, versus stealing, like something from a live person? And it was a delightful. Anyway, sorry, delightful alignment
Depends on your
That
conversation.
sounds
belief
so delightful.
system.
Well, the belief system is you are, because she's playing a Tabaxi monk, and it was the idea of like, well, you are no longer on this mortal plane, therefore you can no longer have possession, because she also has no.
Right, but there are some
Concept of
cultures
material
that believe whatever
possession.
you have
The
on
ancient
you is with
Egyptians
you.
would disagree.
Exactly.
Well, they really needed attention with their giant tombs. I'm kidding. Okay.
I mean,
Anyway,
I'm not going to lecture about ancient Egypt. I know too much. We're moving on.
What? The
Okay.
birds
Fun
with
fact.
bats in the
More games.
background?
Ancient
Cleo-
Egypt is one of the ancient cultures I study.
Fun fact: Cleopatra lived closer to modern times than she did to the beginning of "quote unquote" ancient Egypt,
Cleopatra the
because it
Seventh was
existed
Greek.
for forever.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
was Greek, damn it.
Macedonian.
I just learned about the origin of the phrase behind every great man stands a strong woman, and like the wigs that they used to wear and why they were able to. I just found out about that. I was like, that is so cool. It's fascinating.
So anyway, that's as we're going on. I know Adesh, Zariah, do you guys have any kind of prep work you guys want to do before getting ready to tier hop?
Get some extra tissues and stop crying.
Aw.
No, my prep work was basically let's do all the studying and pulling him into a
Gotcha.
midnight study session.
Yeah, that was that, and then the thing I told you about after the stream.
Gotcha.
So did we end up getting trial communication devices from Cass, or was that one that
Not
you
as of
didn't-
yet.
Okay.
I think we were going to inquire about them first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
And the morning never came.
As of right now, the technology is still in its infancy stages, and specifically, Kess is not sure what will happen. Based on how you guys described what happened when you went into Etsu Korimala, she's not sure what will happen if one of these devices goes into a tier, because things change massively.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think Kess
So-
was a coward.
I know where you live, bitch.
Actually, you can't really get upset over that over Cass after what everything Jody has made Arel do
I
and
mean,
say.
Also,
She's
kind of
smart
like,
now.
what the fuck?
So yeah, no, Kess is working like diligently, trying to kind of perfect the technology so that they can use it a little bit more. But she's also been doing the whole dealing with the teleportation thing and making tier travel safer and this is stuff like that. So she, surprisingly enough, Kess is remarkably busy, and then dealing with her own demons from her past. Like, she's been doing a lot. That being said, when you all wake up the next morning, you guys all awaken to the smell of hot food coming from the I can't think of the word now, the living room in between all of the common room, there we go, in between all of your rooms. And you guys can see that apparently Lottie has prepared and sent fresh food for all of you. So,
Is there fish?
Is she here?
Breakfast fish is a thing. Lottie is not here.
Okay.
And because Lottie knows you guys so well, she would have had a little breakfast fish prepared for Dilly.
Dilly is really like stuck on the fish.
Billy didn't get a lot of constants in their life. So Dilly likes the fish.
You know, sometimes, despite the constant mortal danger in world-ending scenarios, this job does have its perks.
So he
And
also
I
likes
eat.
the fish.
So you guys all have a really nice breakfast, and unless you guys have anything else you want to do before you get going, you were all eventually taken to the center of the Tears Core.
I do feel like with the
Wasn't sure if that was a stretch or.
it was both. I feel like after Adesh says with the world-ending scenarios while eating, I was like, oh, speaking of world-ending scenarios, and shares what they learned the previous.
Yes.
Just like it's like they're like, oh, this is a segue for me to just info dump everything I learned. Isn't that so great?
By the way, everyone, this is how other people died before. So
Isn't that great? This is you know.
Oh yeah,
we have tears to die for.
yeah. We read up on that.
Raya looks over at Dilly. You're right, this is good fish.
Dilly's mouth is completely stuffed full of fish and goes, mm-hmm.
So
Just a mountain
you
of
all
fish.
are able to get your meal. You head to the center of the Tears Core and are teleported to the debarkation platform that you guys have been in before. You again see the kind of strange Ouroboros ring-shaped structure that was used before to send you guys to Tier Prime / Etsu Korimala. And you watch as the entire platform you're on starts moving as they start aiming it towards this very small tier that is near the edge of the kind of cloud of tears. And they specifically chose this tier because it's not in direct line of sight
Yeah.
of Etsukorimala. So if something does happen, they're hoping that you guys will have a little bit of warning.
Of Mr. Overcompensator Potentate.
So, Kess kind of turns to you all and goes, so, I mean, I guess just like before, go and discover what's going on in there, make friends if you can, and take notes. And she kind of looks at Zariah and just kind of casually comes over and gives your shoulder a little squeeze. All right, let's do this. And she goes over to the control console.
Was there not something that we had mentioned in our conference with Kess yesterday that we were gonna like get or go over in the morning, or am I just misremembering from 2 weeks ago?
It's absolutely possible. My memory doesn't work though, so if you can't remember,
glad we both don't remember.
Commiseration.
So, as you guys all kind of get prepared, Kess goes, once more onto the fray. And she pushes a button, and you guys instantly feel the similar sensation as last time, where your bodies start kind of tingling all over, and you watch as the ring in front of you seems to kind of rush at you, and there's bright lights and kind of chaos going on, and then suddenly everything goes black.
The end.
Reach.
So, that's the end
That's our
of
show.
Tears of the
Bye.
Realms. It's been great.
Talked about-
Campaign 3 will start in about 6.5 years.
Did Jody just kill off all our characters?
Yes.
He was getting really tired of
Tess
her shit.
missed and accidentally teleported you guys into a wall.
A giant plate.
There are worse
And-
ways to go. At least it was quick.
True.
So, Fubari. It has been a bit of an uneventful day for you. Been wandering around the forest. You are kind of pleased with the fact that you made some great finds today. A completely intact button. Because normally, like, you will get like shards of buttons or things like that. This one is near perfect. Just a slight little kind of scratch on it. You have no idea where that came from. And then this strange kind of sticky, gooey mass you found that you're not entirely sure what use it is, but it, like, just the number of different things that you could do with it just seems to be expanding in your mind. Like, there's a lot of potential in this thing. And as you are walking around, you suddenly realize that you are not alone in this particular area of the forest. As you look over, you see 5 people just kind of lying on the ground. Now, it's relatively early in the morning, so it's theoretically possible they could be just hadn't woken up. But some of... or actually, you only see 4, sorry. You see 4 bodies, and they're kind of in strange positions. Like, it doesn't look like there's no campfire around, there's no sleeping bags or anything. They're just kind of laying there. What would you like to do?
I would like to find a stick and poke them.
Okay. I get to use dice. Who would have
I
thought? Tabletop
appreciate
RPG.
that response personally so much.
All right. So, as you go over, you find the closest one, and you just start poking them to see kind of what happens. I know. The world is kind of dark. But
I
you
know, but
start
there's always hope somewhere.
you do start feeling you do start slowly kind of being aware of things. you notice that the first thing that you are aware of is just kind of how fresh everything around you smells. Like you can smell grass. You feel kind of dampness, like you have dew on various parts of your clothes and definitely on the grass around you. And as you are slowly kind of getting used to these experiences, you suddenly feel this sharp poking sensation in your ribs.
Rude. I'm gonna say Aina's disoriented enough that for a brief moment she forgets where she just was. And it's that idea of like, oh, I must have fallen asleep outside again. And just kind of reaching out and like flapping at it, like, I'm getting up, Johan, be nice. That hurts. Just kind of flaps at it. And then like sits up a little bit, lets her eyes adjust. And it's very clear, like, oh wait, this is definitely nowhere near the mountain. Because there's no snow whatsoever.
As you look over, Fubari, why don't you give us kind of a physical description of what you look like?
All right. Well, I am a small, semi-rodent-esque type creature. I currently am wearing a giant hat made out of some sort of a leaf-like structure that obscures a good bit of my face. I have a fuzzy-looking large cloak that's covering. It's kind of like a very loose cloak type coat that shrouds most of my little body, with a lot of folds in it. There's a lot of folds and kind of unusual lumps and bumps that are disrupting the folds of the cloak. And I also have in one hand, I have a little belt on, and you can see there's like a looped piece of string with these little acorns tied, two on either end of them, that's kind of hanging free. And in the other hand, I have a stick, and I am currently rapidly tying on what looks like this little pointy metallic object to the end of it.
When you say you are small, if sitting up, are you about like eye level with an average sized person, or
how do I answer this, Jody?
So in comparison with
like, are we talking like small, like 3 feet? Or are we talking like?
So in comparison with other Minish, would you consider yourself relatively tall or on the shorter side?
I'm on the shorter side for a Minish.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know for you, she's probably around like eye level. Like you two are probably very similar in size. You might be a little bit shorter than her.
Oh, dang it. I thought
unless you'd like to be taller.
No, it's fine. It's just that idea of like when you said small, I thought like when sitting up, it's like, oh, hello. It's like, it's still a. Okay. All right. So we're about the same height.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it took me a minute. Okay, I had to look up what a Minish was. Remind my brain.
Reminder that the Minish Cap's available on Nintendo Switch Online and on the Nintendo Switch family of systems.
Oh, hello, friend.
I thought it's really funny that we mentioned Forest Minish right before this episode, but
that wasn't that was totally unplanned.
First of all, Jody,
mm-hmm.
because I'm not entirely sure what our Hyrule things are, rules are. Do we have Minish in Hyrule? Or better question, have there ever been Minish in Hyrule, which is more of a question for me.
You would be the only person that would be familiar with the Minish, and even with the vast amount of note-taking and everything that has happened, there's still you are actually the only person outside of library now that would actually recognize the name Minish. Hylians recognize, used to call them the Picori.
Okay.
Minish is their name.
Fun fact: Minish means to make less.
kind of like the difference between Navajo and Dene. Dene is what they call themselves, and Navajo is what everybody else calls them.
Okay.
So same basic kind of principle. However, they were considered folklore and legend. So you've heard descriptions of them, and the thing that kind of makes you hesitate to refer to this person as Minish is she's far too large. Minish are very, very tiny. A few inches high, maybe. Effectively, if you're familiar with the borrowers,
Yeah.
they're the borrowers.
Am I familiar with the borrowers? Who do you
So.
think I am?
I'm a lot more familiar with the Minish than the borrowers.
So, while so you
I
now
read
can
instead of having a lot of friends as a child.
I stood alone in my room playing a Game Boy.
The Borrowers also became a movie.
Yeah,
With
that's how
John
I recognize
Goodman.
it. That's because I never read
And
it. I just
also,
watched
you've
it.
got
Was
the
Tom
Secret World of
Felton in that
Ariadne.
one?
Yeah, Tom Felton was in that too. He played one of the kids.
Oh my
Yep.
god.
Yeah.
Pre-Harry Potter days.
Realizations.
And he's like it's crazy to see Tom Felton in the Borrowers and then Tom Felton as Draco Malfoy, because massive change. Anyway, so yes, there's a little mouse-like person in front of you that has just poked you and is now attaching something to the stick she just poked you with.
Oh. Hello. That sort of hurts. I'm Ino.
I sniff her hand.
Oh, nothing in it. Are you hungry? I think I do have some food.
What?
Yes. She like digs in her little bag, and pulls out like some of the little snacky things that Lottie sent us with, of just probably like a little bit of trail mix of like, you want a snack?
And she grabs it out of her hand and starts smelling it intensely.
They're baked goods, and there's a decent amount of sugar in them.
Oh no.
Along with like nuts and other things for like this is like energy bars, but not really baked energy food.
Okay.
While you are doing this, one thing you kind of realize is you are missing an aspect of your sister self. And so as you look around trying to
Me?
figure out, yes, I know, sorry. As you look around trying to figure out where a key is, you realize a key's not on your shoulder, not on the floor. And then you kind of look up and you can see near you is what looks like a massive shamrock. Like easily 15, 20 feet high. And you can see a kind of yellowish white tail just kind of hanging off the edge of this very large thing. And it looks very spiky and pointy. Like the fur itself looks almost kind of rough.
A key?
You see the tail kind of twitch and move, and you watch as the entire shamrock kind of shakes, and suddenly you can see a very kind of spiky, almost like Jolteon looking Eki kind of poke his head over and look at you.
Oh, thank God
And-
I was very, thank God that's my friend. I was very confused where you were.
And then suddenly you hear this kind of zzz, and you see this bolt of lightning come down, and suddenly Eki is on your shoulder.
That's
And
new and
if-
really cool.
If you would like to open your character sheet and click on the Recursion 3 button, you will see that
Hang on, sorry.
at the very top of your character sheet, you'll see
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll20 is having a minute. Okay, there we go. I opened it and it was completely blank. There was nothing. And I was like, okay, well, it's not in
You
Turkish
no longer
or,
have a character
That's
sheet.
because you're in
Or
English instead of Portuguese.
But
Or
Uh,
Turkish.
1 second. Please hold. Here we go. Okay. Aha! There we go.
So, You are now an inquisitive sorcerer who rides the lightning.
Yeah, I do, mother. Oh, sorry.
Oh
Ayo.
no.
You you
Ayo.
notice that your kind of connection with Aurora's and that doesn't seem to be there, but you can see little bits of lightning dancing across your skin, and you can see Aki himself looks to be this little almost like kind of fluffy lightning elemental.
They're very similar, oddly. One might say. But you know that. What makes lightning and what makes auroras are actually not that far off. It's kind of cool. Anyway. La la la. So there's a brief moment where she takes out her notebook and just kind of writes down like, oh, now tell me, my friend, how are you feeling? I'm just talking to Aki of like, just sort of gleaning that like, oh, I just testing out how our connection is and writing a little bit, assuming I still have a notebook.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I would assume I know can't exist without like reality will rewrite itself to give you a notebook.
I feel that is also true, but you know, who knows? And then as I bring that up to write, do I notice anything different about, say, my hands?
Yeah, so as you look down, you notice that your hands look very, very different. Very close to kind of mouse paws, plus an opposable thumb. And as you look around, you have this kind of very thin layer of fur going down. As you kind of feel your face, you have this little kind of mouse-like nose. You have these little like elf-ish ears. And you are, as far as you can tell, it seems that you have transformed into a Picori or Miminish.
I know gets even more delighted at this because this is fantastic. And feverishly writes just, oh, and then realizes in a brief moment, wait, I came with people, and looks around for anybody else.
So the first thing that you notice, you can see a kind of pile of little mouse-like bodies there. But you notice
that's terrifyingly
described. You noticed
Blood
one
everywhere.
of them looks massively different from the rest. Motto. As you are slowly kind of coming to terms with what's going on, you can feel kind of the dampness of the ground around you. You hear Ino kind of saying things, but your brain hasn't fully kind of rebooted. So it's mostly just Ino shaped noises.
I mean, to be fair, even when you're conscious, I feel like half the things out of her mouth are just Ino shaped noises.
And so the first thing that you do is you want to kind of sit up. And as you sit up, before you're able to open your eyes, your head kind of impacts something wooden. And as you blink, you look around and you can see this kind of leaf-shaped thing in front of you. And you look around and you can see something that looks kind of like a key, though a little bit spikier than normal, and then this weird kind of mouse-looking thing. And you realize that you're looking down. And if you want to go ahead and click on Recursion 3. You are now a charming ruler who grows to towering heights.
Oh,
so
wow.
As you kind of look around, you notice that you can see what looks like Ino, but kind of different. And you can see the rest of your friends, and they all just look significantly smaller than you. And you're trying to figure out why, and you suddenly feel yourself shrink, and now everything is much closer to what you think it should be. You realize that there's a very large log that it seems that when you tried to sit up, you knocked your head on it, and now looking at it, it's far too large for you to be able to do anything.
Huh? What the? Well, that's weird. Okay. Interesting. Motto just kind of looks around and looks at looks at our new friend and just goes, hi, I guess. I know, where are we?
I have no idea, but we are getting to see and meet and apparently maybe be Corey.
What? Do I also look like a Bakori?
Yeah, you again. You have kind of like mouse-like hands, and you have a thin layer of fur over everything. You have a little mouse nose and kind of elf-ish ears.
Motto like looks and all that, and this is like, huh? What? Wild.
I will mention to you, Fubari.
What?
Motto has a relatively large backpack with tons of pockets.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
While they're looking around, can I start kind of surreptitiously going through some of their pockets and packs and just going through stuff? Actually, not even surreptitiously, just complete lack of personal space.
Okay. So yeah, you guys watch as Fubari just kind of comes over and just starts, like, she goes over to Motto's pack and just starts like opening the things. You keep finding these kind of miniature shield looking the things on various places. And then you notice Aino has a pack that she previously had taken the things out of, and you notice that there seems to be a significantly large amount of the things in there.
Can I dump the pack?
No.
What is on it's on Aino's person, so
Okay, never mind.
She'd maybe let you look in it, but be like, no, you don't get to dump it out.
I was like, good luck.
So while all of this is happening, Zariah, you again are kind of going through this experience of kind of waking up. You can feel the dampness of the ground. You can hear a conversation happening nearby. Some of it sounds vaguely Motto shaped. Some of it sounds vaguely Aino shaped. And every so often you hear a third voice that you can't place. As you kind of blink and open your eyes, first thing that you notice is the area that you're in. There's lots of different shadows because there's that big shamrock thing near you, and there's sunlight kind of peeking through. But as you look around, you can't feel any of the shadows. As you try to kind of reach out and control them, the strangest things happens. As you reach out, you watch as the grass next to you starts moving towards you. If you want to click on Recursion 3, you are now a guarded hero who speaks for the land.
Oh, that's a terrible thing.
That poor land.
Now the terror is all incurred. It'll be wonderful.
So you realize that your ability to control shadows just doesn't exist anymore. Hello, Voidfloof. Goodbye, Voidfloof. But as you kind of look around, you can feel all the plants around you. And as you look at your shadow control rod, you notice that instead of the kind of like dark metal that it's normally made of, it is now made of wood. As you kind of focus on it, you notice that you can influence it to literally just grow into various shapes.
Raya looks at her wings.
As you go to look at them, you see paws. You see a light layer of fur that has kind of a feather pattern in it.
Great goddess, why can't I fly again?
So the tier realms do not want you to be a bird.
No!
Thing about
I
every
await-
time
I
a
await
Rito
the
goes
tier-
to an alternate realm in any of these games, and we just take away their bird features completely.
I await the at some point we're gonna go into a tier and everyone's gonna be a Rito and we're
That's
gonna be
true,
like,
yeah.
"Whoa, oh shit!"
And
Except
then
for some reason,
Zariah will
Zariah.
somehow
Now
be
you
a flightless
know.
one.
Oh no! That And then Shax murders us all.
Find a way. Becomes like Tails and
So in front of you, you can see a strange kind of mouse-like person that, as you look at them longer, looks remarkably similar to Aino. And you can see this little kind of spiky Aki jumping around. And every so often, Aki will just disappear. And you'll see this little bolt of lightning and then will appear in a different place.
as soon as Zaraya sees Aino, she's gonna like crawl over to her and sort of grab her face and just be like, "You are adorable. Even more so than normal. Oh my gosh, you are adorable. What are you?
You're
Apparently.
adorable. I know, she's suddenly like, even more so. This is something she has never heard out of Zaraya's mouth, especially when it's like the even more than normal. It's like, you're adorable. Like, but then like it registers the question of, oh, what you just asked of like, what are you? Oh, I think we're Picori, and this fine creature. He's like, I don't know what pronouns to use. I don't know what. Yeah. It woke me up and is I believe from around here, realizing, oh, maybe we shouldn't say that we're not just drawing attention of there's someone with us who is not part of the immediate party. Of like, we're in mixed company in a somewhat sneaky way, but not really.
And then Fubari, you would recognize the term Picori from living in towns. You know that that's what the humans would call.
I thought humans
you?
called them Minish.
No, humans call them Picori. The Minish call themselves Minish.
Oh, when you first explained that to me, I think you explained it backwards.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Picori is the human term for them. Minish is what they call themselves.
Okay. Sorry. Could I retcon that?
Oh, sure. Then yeah, that is just Minish. So you wouldn't recognize them using the human term for Minish.
I apologize.
I will say the term Minish would be maybe shows up once in the very limited amount of text. It is significantly more common for in the library to refer to them as Picori because that's what that's where you would have gotten all the information from. So that's why I assumed you were calling them Picori because that's generally what they were referred to. Minish is just a off term that shows up in like one book.
Fair. All right.
So now that that's done,
Why do you all smell wrong?
Oh,
You
good. You
smell
can.
wrong.
We smell wrong.
You
What the-
smell wrong.
Why do we smell wrong?
Who are you? Where are you? You are not Minish.
I like smells herself.
So I know this is my very cute friend Zaraya. Just having this moment of like, I don't. This is the nicest you've ever been to me. I'm just like, oh. And this is Eki, and that is Mado, and that pile over there is Adesh and Dilly. I should make sure
there's
they're not
actually
dead.
there's actually only
cool.
one more body that you guys can see.
Yeah, we're missing someone.
Oh dear. Hang on.
While she says that, Adash,
Yes.
you
Trevor.
are slowly kind of waking up.
Am I in prison again?
It's even better than that.
Again.
You're dead.
As you're slowly waking up, you can feel kind of the dampness of the ground. You can hear various voices talking. You think you offhand heard the phrase "adorable" happen, and as you kind of blink, you can see again these kind of large, mouse-like people around you. That as you kind of focus a little more, you recognize that they look remarkably similar to Aino and Zaraya and Mamamado. But as you kind of get up, you feel this strange kind of pulling sensation, like you're missing something. And as you look down, you can see there is a relatively long, curved, scimitar-like blade that is about 5 feet away from where you will wake up. And for whatever reason, you feel immediately drawn towards it.
In what way?
I love that you're a Minish with a scimitar.
You're not quite sure, but you feel like connected to it. Like even when you're not looking at it, you know exactly where it is.
Oh. So it's like it's a part of me, not like I want to use it.
Yeah, no, it you have this kind of weird connection to it. And you are now a Sheikah sorcerer who wields an enchanted weapon.
So it's like a clover laden scimitar or something?
It looks kind of
normal looking.
Yeah, for the most part, it looks relatively normal looking. It does have kind of a leaf motif to the handle.
Mm-hmm. Do I also have a rat body?
Yes, as you look around, you can see you have strange kind of mouse-like fingers and fur and weird kind of pointed ears. I guess for you, that's not that strange because Sheikah also have pointed ears.
But not snouts.
And then as you look down, you notice that you're still wearing your necklace, but it doesn't seem to be glowing or anything like that. It just seems to be currently inert.
Okay. I will mutter to myself in a volume with which others nearby could hear if they were perceptive. Oh, we had to choose the rat realm. Okay. And I go and pick up the scimitar.
Okay.
We're not rats. We're like adorable mice.
We're Minish.
Oh, sorry.
I'm so sorry.
We're...
I forgot that word. Thank you for reminding me, new friend. I apologize.
Oh, someone new. Hello. And then I'd try to not pick up the scimitar in a threatening way.
Pick up the scimitar in a friendly way.
You said we smelled wrong. What does that do? We are friendly, promise.
Where's Dilly?
Oh no. Have you seen another one of us that's around? We have lost friend.
You suddenly appeared here out of nowhere. This poof, and you're here.
Oh, yes. I don't know how to explain that.
I mean...
Okay.
Just being full on honest. Oh, yeah.
Do you have more
don't know
muffins?
how to explain that.
Do you have more muffins?
Oh, I do have more muffins. Are you hungry?
Yes.
Be careful though, because your stomach might get a little upset if you eat too many. They are meant to be more filling than they appear. Here's another muffin.
She immediately starts stuffing her cheeks.
Oh my god.
And the rest of the conversation is just filled cheeks with muffins.
I love this idea of just a chubby bunny conversation.
As all this is going on, Dilly.
Where is Dilly?
You, as you are slowly kind of waking up, the first thing that you know seem to be in some kind of a forest. And as you kind of wake up, you can see these large trees that at first glance don't look right to you. And as you keep looking around, you realize that the trees don't have any bark on them. You look closer, they are just plants. Like there's no bark or anything. It's just like a very, very large leaf. And you suddenly start realizing these are giant blades of grass. And
I want to climb it.
As you start to try to kind of climb it, you can hear this very loud kind of booming sound. As you look over, you see these giant looking mice, easily like 15, 20 feet to the tall, just kind of talking with each other. You can, and eventually as you're doing that, you see this large kind of spiky, fluffy creature that just looks like a massive spiky Aki come over and just look at you.
Can I boop Spiky Aki's nose?
when you do, Spikey kind of goes down and kind of shakes its tail like it's ready to play.
But you do feel static electricity make all the fur on your skin stand up just a little bit.
Dilly is cool with that. Can Dilly ride a key?
Sure.
No.
While all this is
So
happening,
small.
I know you notice a key has found something in the underbrush that he seems particularly taken with.
Oh.
And you suddenly watch as this very small mouse-like creature starts climbing onto Aki's fur.
Oh.
And before you are able to kind of get up there, you suddenly feel, Dilly, you suddenly feel your head swim a little bit. And you guys watch as this tiny furry creature gets larger and larger and becomes a more Dilly-sized creature.
Okay, I would like to spread my legs out so that I have like weight going off of.
Yeah.
You're not
as I get
squishing. You're
larger.
not squishing the poor
Yeah.
Electrofox.
So if you wanna click on Recursion 3 on your character sheet,
Why did you start so small?
you are now a protective sage who shrinks to minute size.
You're
the
a
polar
minute
opposite
man
of me.
instead of a minute man.
I can get through
Wow.
so many more locks.
Oh no, that's amazing.
So, quick mechanic discussion. Again, for on the Recursion 3, as long as you guys are in this recursion, you'll be, or in this tier, you will be kind of stuck in this particular focus. But I do have all the different abilities listed in there, so feel free to read through them to discover how they all work. Yeah. So that being said, as Fubari, as you are kind of filling your for later sacks with food, you watch as something happens that you remember hearing kind of in folklore generations ago, that there was once a Minish that was able to kind of go between the Minish world and the human world and had this ability to kind of shrink and grow. And you've just watched a Minish in front of you grow from really tall to small, and then another one go from absolutely tiny to kind of regular sized.
Do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
Dilly, do it again.
Okay. It requires courage points, and I have no edge in courage, so it's actually going to take a point.
Oh no, you don't actually have to do it. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, out of character, I'm like
Do it.
mechanics. I
Do
don't
it.
want
Do
to,
it.
but in character,
Do it, you won't.
Dilly absolutely would. So Dilly's going to shrink again.
So again, everything is relative in this because you guys are already very, very small. But with your particular ability, you can shrink down to, how big is it?
I would like to accidentally do the smaller and
Okay.
get to 1 centimeter size.
So yeah, relatively, she turns like this big.
Wow.
Can I go put my paw in front of her
Sure.
and see if she'll get up on it and look at her closely?
Just quick point of order. They, them for Dilly.
They them.
Yeah. I assume that I was still standing over a key, so getting that small, I drop onto a key, and that I'm now static electricity again. So yeah, Dilly will go onto the palm.
And as they walk onto your palm, you do feel that little static shock as some of the static electricity discharges on your hand.
I startled and am very, very careful not to drop them.
How soft is the fur that I'm on right now?
Relatively soft. Mice are really, really soft. Like the paws themselves don't tend to have a lot of fur on them, though. It's much it's skin. So
Yeah, but they're fun. Dilly is going to go fall backwards, completely splayed out.
This is the best magic I've ever seen.
Hey, so where are we and what is your name? Who are you? We're new here, as you could tell by our smell, I guess.
Yes, you smell weird. Hello? I am Fubari. I am Minish. I am searching. I am exploring the world.
Okay. And you found us in the
Where?
world. Can you tell us about this world that you're exploring real quick? Like everything looks disproportionate.
Well,
While this
I
is
am Minish.
happening, Dilly is making their way up to Fubari's head.
Oh, this is normal world. What do you mean? I am Town Minish. I am from town.
Town.
No one.
Does town have a name? Is there a name of the town? We're from very
is
far
town.
away. Town. Okay, great.
It is town. It is town. Big people, and we live in town.
People.
Big, not Minish. Not Minish.
Okay.
We live in town. And we live in town, and we stay in town, and we die in town, and no one goes. Everyone always very, very small life. Very small
right,
world.
Okay. You didn't want that, so
Fubari
you're
does not.
exploring. Yeah.
Fubari wishes to see world. Fubari wishes to smell and to find and to make and to meet. Where do you come from?
Well,
you are no Minish.
We met us. Great question. Appreciate the inquisitive nature. We love curious people. I'm just gonna talk to my friends here before answering that really quickly. Hey,
None of us just causing questions.
She seems on the up and up, right?
Dilly does try to answer the question, but all you hear is
You might cut all of that out, but I imagine it was adorable sounds.
That's
it was all very high pitched little.
That tracks for the
kind of
volume
things,
level
but
coming
higher.
out of a centimeter high.
Yep.
So I was just about to blurt out like, we're not from here.
I know you smell wrong.
Oh, right, yes. 100%.
Not
Really quickly?
them anything. They didn't know.
Really quickly, something that we do here for all of our Zelda Universe Giga games. The chat is actually a part of the game, and they can use their channel points to give you various things that help you do cool stuff. And right now, Emperor P has given an effort token to Adesh with the quote Bream some knees Lex. I'm not sure what
Wait,
that means.
Adesh?
Is that supposed to go to Matto?
Or not Adesh, Matto, I'm sorry. It goes to
Play
Lex.
Dash 2 if you want, Lex. I'll just, sit here.
So Lex, go ahead and take an effort token from Peyton.
Thanks, Cass.
All right, sorry. Continue. That will happen every so often.
Yes. We are from a place called Out of Town.
Oh. Is it far?
It is
Oh, it's very far.
very far.
We are also explorers, and we're curious about this area, and would love to see beautiful things. Love to see your home. Love to see like what makes this part of the world, as amazing as it seems. We are here also to explore, and would love if you could show us around.
I met someone who wishes to see things. Yes, all of the things.
We would like to see all the things, yes. Everything you know about, we would like to see.
All right, Fubari immediately runs around and starts pointing at things and explaining, like, this is a rock, this is a leaf, this is.
Aino is 100% on board with this enthusiasm and proceeds to follow you and write little notes of like how you're describing everything. Because even though it's like, yeah, I know that's a rock, it's like, but how do you see that as a rock? Like, what is a rock to you? How do you describe this piece of grass? Like, just like, oh, fascinating. She's secretly writing, like, I get to learn more about the Minish, which is amazing. And she's like, yeah. I'm going to show all those elders when I get back home. Oh, 2 years from now, they're going to be like, shit. It'd be great.
2 years from now, you're gonna come with a whole shelf of books to add to the library.
It's gonna be amazing, and they're gonna feel like dumbasses.
Do you think she hasn't already contributed shelves at this point? She's been with us for 2 years.
That is true. But even more, because now we've been actually like in the tiers.
So you guys have actually only been doing this for like 7 or 8 months.
Sorry, it was an exaggeration.
50 years we've been at this job.
Yeah. Thank you. Much better.
You are 3rd generation tier walkers.
I have never
Too old
seen a
for
rock
this.
quite described that way before.
So great.
So I take it you don't go back to town very often or at all.
Oh, sometimes they do not approve of my exploring. They are very boring people.
Are they the sort of people who are like, we're not leaving this place because this is all we need. Exploring is.
They have no insight. They have no interest in beyond sitting and eating and finding things around in their small hole.
And maybe just reading a book about what's out there, but refusing to go out themselves.
What is book?
Oh, never mind.
I think you're projecting a little
And
bit
she
there,
puts
you know?
she puts her hands on Fabari's
Kiri
shoulders.
projecting? Nah.
No, I know
Puts
projecting.
her hands on Fabari's shoulders, and it's like,
Fabari, my new friend, we shall get along very well.
and I would love to show you what a book is. Can you read? Do you know?
What is read?
And just
That's it.
since I think Carrie missed this, Dilly is currently on Fabari's head.
Yes, that's adorable. Tries not to shake Fabari too much with the enthusiastic like shoulder, like friend, kindred spirit. Like, oh, sorry, Dilly.
Dilly just goes.
She
too bad
She
there's no
brings out her
dexterity
notebook
saving throws
so
in this.
smart.
and she shows what she's been writing. That like she's been writing down like rock and da da da, and it's like, does this make sense to you? She's showing you her writing in her notebook of she was dictating when you were talking about this is a rock and this is
The Minish do have a written language.
They do? Okay.
They just
not
it's
necessarily that
the,
one.
I would say Town Minish more likely than not probably do have books and other things like that, just because they are a little bit more sentiary. They may not call them books specifically. It might just be like, oh, these are stories. Like they wouldn't have like a blanket term for just written works as books. You have these are stories and these are like recipes, and so the term book would still be something that's a little bit odd to your ear, but you are familiar with written. The Forest Minish in particular don't tend to have as much things written down, because they tend to be much more agrarian and have a lot more spend a lot more time actually going out and gathering and farming and things like that. So
So yeah, she recognizes that it's written, but she can't read it.
Oh,
I'm assuming it's a different language.
Technically, with how the tier walking works, she's writing in Minish.
Oh, okay, that's cool. So yes,
Yeah, it's the reason you guys can understand her. It's also the reason that your English technically is technically broken, is because just due to how the tier walking gems works, it's translating Minish into the English that they normally speak. And as anyone that works in translation knows, there's always, you lose something as you translate. So, but yeah, this is all done through magic.
All right. So yes,
So they're literally speaking Minish in just, again, they will use phrases that don't quite work. like people that use the wrong colloquialisms and stuff like that. But you can understand each other. And again,
Okay.
you can, the word choice and stuff like that, when you read it, seems off. Like, again, like someone writing in a foreign language, but it's readable to you.
All right. In that case, Fubari gets very, very excited.
This is wonderful. You have put what I have said. You have made. What is this?
This is what we call book, and as she's talking, unintentionally, her vocal patterns are starting to match yours. Of just like, oh, so that I can, when I go to a new place, I remember everything, so I can take a little bit of that place with me as I explore all around everywhere. This is,
would you like me to make you a notebook?
Guys, I don't know if
I always need more brain.
I do. I kind of like the idea that Aino is so used to learning that you naturally start to effectively pick up the language, even though you don't realize that you're speaking another language.
She's neurospicy. She's just mirroring without knowing it. How do you think I assimilated into your guys' this fucking shit?
Which can be insulting. Take care.
Wait, what? Oh, mirroring.
I thought talking about assimilating, offending any Borg that might be watching.
I mean,
We're all wearing masks here.
Oh God, no. Dear God. She starts immediately now looking in her bag and being like, "Do I have an extra notebook that I can just give you?"
Handy dandy notebook.
It would shock me if Aino didn't carry like
several
3 or 4 spares
on hand. Yeah. Okay. So it comes out with this blank book, and an extra little piece of I don't know if it's charcoal at this point. I don't know what it's transformed into, but like shows you how you can write in it, and it's like, oh, how do you spell your name? Do you know?
I do not know.
Oh,
Okay,
transcribe it phonetically.
I'm going to take a guess, and if you choose
my
to
name,
spell it different,
my name is Fubari. Fubari.
and then does a little thing, and the first page as she presents it to you says, "This is the property of Fubari."
Oh,
Present from one explorer to another.
You are the most kind. Thank you.
Oh, you're the
Oh, I make you a notebook. I give you a notebook.
And she immediately goes running around and tearing off bits of leaves off of the adjacent tree clover pieces, and tears them into kind of not really like roughly notebook shape size, and opens up her cloak, and there are just dozens and dozens and dozens of walls and walls of pockets inside of this cloak. And she immediately starts digging through all the pockets and pulls out half of a needle that's kind of broken off, and takes it and weaves it between and sticks all of these leaves together so they're like in a kind of a pile, a clump that's roughly like movable, and then grabs a bug on the ground and squishes it, and has this like juicy bug juice, and she's writing on the front leaves with this juicy bug juice, and then very, very proudly, and this all happens in like a span of 30-40 seconds, and very proudly hands it over.
Please know that today's episode was brought to you by cuteness.
It was really cute until it was just bug guts on the front.
Still cute.
Juicy bug juice.
But Aino understands that this is actually like, this is a labor of quick and fast love, and just like this takes it just like, this is a treasured present. Like, thank you. We are now
welcome.
We are now best friends. Of just like, I have made.
Can we just become best friends?
Knowledge. Would you mind potentially? You don't have to come with if you don't want. I understand that it is old hat to you because you don't like to stay in town, but We have never been to this town. Would it be all right if you pointed us how to get there?
Or if you have any friends that are like here in the forest with you.
No, I have been alone for some time.
Oh,
Nobody
that's
wants to come with me. Can I come with you?
You can absolutely come with us, as long as it's not too boring for you.
Oh no.
Because
we'll
we've
find
not been
things.
to that
We
town,
will
and I know
explore
you've
things.
seen the town before, but we're very intrigued.
Yes, I can show. Family may not like stranger. They don't like. They do not like stuff not usual.
Is there any
I
way we
am
can
very
smell
familiar with
better?
these sorts of people.
Hmm.
Oh, we
This will
could
be
roll
hard.
around in the forest.
Yeah,
I will
Is that what
mention
Minish smell like?
currently you know that there is a forest minish settlement, kind of a smaller village of just a few houses, about 2 or 3 hours away from where you are. The actual town is the better part of a day's journey from where you currently are.
Okay. So
we can go town, or we can go see cousins.
so the town Mish and the forest Mish, are they related or aware of each other, or
They are. So basically, each version basically considers themselves the true Minish, kind of like the old disparity between theater and film actors, where each one thought that they were the real actors and the other ones were posers. Kind of a very similar thing where the town Minish have basically see forest Minish as these kind of country bumpkin morons that aren't smart enough to be able to live in actual society, and the forest Minish consider the town Minish to be cowardly people that are too afraid to leave their very cushy lifestyle to live in there. And there's a massive amount of animosity to the point where you've lived out here long enough that there are some forest Minish that are willing to interact with you.
okay.
But it's mostly because they like the fact that you have left the town Minish. But for the most part, there is such an animosity that they refuse to speak to each other. They refuse to cooperate, despite the fact that currently there's a sickness that has been kind of going around, and neither side is willing to kind of compare notes or anything to figure out what's going on. But people randomly, their skin will take on a much darker appearance, and they'll become very cold and just kind of become unconscious.
Have I been to this forest Minish village recently, or like do I have any idea of what's going on there?
You'd be aware of the sickness because every so often you also see animals that have a similar affliction where they just look almost like they're permanently in shadows. In animals, when they kind of get this thing, instead of just being rendered unconscious, they become significantly more violent and aggressive.
Okay.
Really quick, by the way, from Emperor P. I'm going to read this phrase and going to say the views and opinions expressed in this phrase are not representative of anyone from Zelda universe, except for Emperor P.
I sign my name to this.
So the phrase is, I will give this to Fubari if they promise to never say juicy bug guts again. And you can take a player intrusion token.
And
Basically,
I think what's
what that
important here is Fubari never says it, not Dottie.
Yeah, Fubari doesn't say it.
Loophole!
So if you look on your character sheet, you notice there's 3 columns. On the farthest right, you may have to scroll to the right a little bit in Roll20. There's a notes section. If you just want to type there, you will get various tokens every so often. They all have different things. A player intrusion token is basically a thing where you can just go, hey, I am going to affect the game in this particular way. You basically get to be the game master for like a sentence where you just get to create something beneficial for your player. Like, for example, if you guys were trying to climb a log, or this is something like that, you could player intrusion token and go, well, I'm going to say that there are vines growing up this log that makes it really, really easy for us to climb up. Things like that.
Very cool.
So go ahead and you have one player intrusion token that you can choose to use whenever you would like. And then also from Emperor P. And because I haven't given Elias anything yet, and my back hurts, take a recovery token.
From carrying us?
Okay.
Is that why your back hurts?
Thank you, Karen.
I don't know. It's Peyton. We barely understand Peyton. Hi, Peyton.
What was the thing from way back when? Bird Murder Squad or something? Magma.
I can't remember yesterday.
Snacrifice something.
Snacrifice. There we go. Oh yeah.
I was about to say Bird Murder Squad. What?
That was
Wait,
the
what?
sacrifice specifically
Pierre was
for me.
going to be the Snacrifice.
Sacrifice. Oh yes.
That was like, this is early inside jokes from like the beginning of the run.
Oh,
Minish
so
measles, moist insect energy. All right, so sorry for interrupting all of that.
so town very, very, very far away. But we have other Minish. We have Minish. How far away? I forgot.
I like to say an hour or two.
Okay, we have village close, maybe two
What is a unit of time?
not far walk. Short walk.
2 not far walks.
I
Wow.
love
Not
okay.
far walks. Two not far walks away.
I like
we-
that. 2 not far walks away.
Yes,
It could be a poor translation, which is amazing.
we can go see. We friend-ish. We met
Relatable.
Forest Minish, Town Minish, no like each other much.
Oh.
But me, they Fubari they like.
So
Well, yeah.
what you're saying is we can introduce ourselves to both groups if we say, hey, at least we're not town minish, and then we go to town and say, hey, at least we're not forest minish, right?
Adesh,
Yes.
out of curiosity, do you ever go, maybe this thought isn't something I should say out loud?
Pretty often, yeah. Why? What does that have to do with what we're saying right now?
I love I know being the voice of censorship
Hello,
here. It's like,
911,
maybe
I'd like to
self-censorship,
report
not
a
the worst thing
murder.
in the world.
Look, I know knows that she's like, oh, probably shouldn't have said that out loud.
Should
Listen,
not have
some
said
people don't let the intrusive thoughts win.
Do you ever have that moment? Maybe I shouldn't have said that out loud.
Yep. You ever say something and go, I regret that choice?
That was a bad decision.
Constantly.
Amazing.
Me all the time.
So hopefully
Anytime
we'll be
I
able
talk
to get
about
a
morbid things outside of
warm-ish
this.
welcome in both places.
Maybe.
So long
Maybe.
as we can
I think you
adjust
mean
our
a
smells.
warminish welcome.
Right. So how do we smell better?
Am I currently micro-minish?
Oh,
You haven't grown yet, and I think it lasts for what, like an
my
hour?
question is about the phrasing that we're using for my current size.
Microminish.
Yes. Or you might say you are diminished.
Well, see, because I'm especially small right now,
Why?
so there needs to be like the regular shrink and then the smaller
I
shrink.
feel
love
that
you
deserves
so
some
much.
credit. Gosh,
love
I
you
so
it
much
does.
I
hate
thought it
you.
was good.
Mini
does.
minished? Mini minish, diminished?
I think minish, micro-minish, and any shrinking is diminished.
Yeah. Dilly has been diminished.
Imp has said you are minuscule.
If I'm diminished and then we copy me and there's 7 of them, I'm a diminished 7th.
Music!
Love this.
So does that make... Does that mean
Ino's
that
gonna-
when Mato grows, he becomes augmented?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, no, he's manished. Wait, that's wrong.
No.
Augminished.
I was trying to like micro and macro, and I'm like, nope, it doesn't work in that way. Never mind. Ino's going to kind of flop on the ground and roll in the grass.
that's better.
Just making
You do
like
get
grass
you get
angels.
a lot of dew.
That's
Because
okay.
it is very early in the morning, and so everything is covered in dew.
Is there any like floral? I know, like, I know. I know we're like very small compared to the world around us, but is there any like flowers on the ground as well?
So nearby, you have these kind of shamrocks that are effectively trees, and then there's also this very large log that there are mushrooms growing out of. Like the log itself is very slowly decomposing, so there's bits of mushroom, and there's kind of that. If you've ever found like a log in the forest, it's surrounded by this like hyper nutrient rich dirt effectively, which is what is decomposed into. So basically the kind of bottom of the log is just this very nutrient rich dirt, and then there's mushrooms all over it. And a few of the mushrooms have a relatively strong scent.
Just gonna like
Find
Let's
out
not
what's a
better?
better sense.
Less weird? Yes, this is good. This is good.
see. My new friend thinks I am smart.
A fair amount of forest minish live in even in and near mushrooms, so
Right,
Mono wants to
begrudgingly rubs herself with mushrooms.
Mono wants to look up in like the trees and be like, I wonder if I could, and I'd like to use the enlarge feat to go up and see if I can like find anything that I can like.
Motto's going to be a rodent of unusual size.
I don't believe. What are you talking about? I don't believe they exist.
Is that a reference to a thing that I'm forgetting about?
Princess Bride, hello?
Bride.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Rodents of unusual size?
Yeah.
I don't believe they exist. Instant attack.
So, just as a reminder for our two sides changing people, when you grow or shrink, it does change your pools.
Correct.
So remember
I have
that
a
you get extra
23
points.
wisdom pool.
Oh my.
To put it in perspective, it's normally 16.
I don't
So,
know
yeah.
what my pools are. I think everything's all weird on this one, but either way.
Basically, you have your normal pools are the 13, 14, 13. And then when you grow, you add 4 points to your courage pool, increase your armor, and you get a +2 to courage edge. And then because of the bigger feat, if you go to your biggest size, you get an additional 3 more courage. So right now, if you've gone to your biggest, your pool goes up to 17. And your
I'm going to go to full height.
current points would increase at the same time.
I'm going to go to full height. So it's like 9 feet, apparently. And I was like, huh. This is... Why are you guys so... Oh, I'm... Okay, this is...
Can Soraya attempt to grow her staff at this point, as large as she can?
Sure, it works again. Basically the same way we work with shadows. It's just you literally grow it into a plant-like thing.
Right.
So what would you like to turn it into?
Height.
Yeah, he only
just how
gets to the largest he can get right now is effectively 12 feet to tall. So basically he doubles in size.
Okay.
So yeah, you can definitely get a long stick that's at least that tall.
Okay.
You've made ladders longer than that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know the limitations of this since it's an actual stick, not shadows.
I'm going to pick up nearby blades of grass, small mushrooms, tree bark, all the smells of the forest, and just bathe myself in them. And then ask the nearest person to me how I smell afterwards.
I know, being a facetious snark, just smiles and says, with your nose, dummy.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
I will mention to Fubari, everyone here, like no one here is particularly unattractive in any way, shape, or form. However, Adesh in particular would be considered classically attractive
Classically
by
attractive
Minish
mouse.
standards. Yeah,
Minish
But-
His fur
Minish
is extra
standards.
shiny.
Yeah, like he just
The
everything about
Chad
him.
of
He
the-
has this
the
the kind of
Chad of the Macquarie.
classically.
He like throws back his head and there's instant stars.
The dewdrops waver
I think
in
you
slow
mean
motion.
petals, like the rose petals of anime. Just
Yep, that's
too.
exactly what it is.
seems weirdly illustrated for a brief moment.
Soraya is standing behind him, controlling the flower petals.
Sarai- just every so often, Sarai would just go flower petals. I mean,
Yep.
you can throw and light seeds on fire. Why not flower petals?
Specifically when
Precisely.
Adesh starts flirting with someone, Zaraya just goes.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't
Makes
wait
it
for
look
you guys.
like the leaf or the flower petals like going in a certain direction. So,
So
instead of
would-
just like
Would Zaraya be Adesh's wing woman then?
Okay.
Not on this tier.
no, I don't have wings. We have to wait till we get back.
All right.
Soraya
really-
is sad yet again.
Yeah, I don't know how much Adesh is gonna go for mouse people here.
Don't knock it till you try it, strange one. No.
Hey,
So there's Fabari has slowly gotten like the hair around their neck standing up in little almost like spike collar style. And if you look closer, they're all little braids.
I've
Um,
never
Billy's
attempted
got some
to
time on their hands.
braid mouse fur.
If you're a centimeter tall, it's probably easier.
Fair.
So
That's it's like
Braiding
the
3 individual hairs at a time.
Yeah, it's like rope at her side.
this is basically you just doing your normal acrobatics.
Yeah.
But with
Dilly is going.
Oh,
Heard the very loud, low conversation about smells, and just goes, "Well, if I just stay on the bari,
if I stay on this finish.
we're good."
kind of just like tries to
Little
tuck
flea
into the fur and
circus.
just like rub. Oh,
I didn't hear. I don't want to hear.
Her body feels very fancy with her braided collar fur.
Oh. Very fancy.
Work
All
it.
right. Let us walk towards settlement.
If there's anything
Okay.
you feel like we should know going in, like customs information, that would be helpful.
things we should say, things we shouldn't say.
Yep.
You are not from town. You know like town Minish. If you know like town Minish, Forest Minish like you.
Yeah, that sounds. Yep,
Full are we?
got it covered.
Soraya kind of stands back from the group and curses to see what curse word she knows, and actually comes across.
Fubari looks over at her with slight horror.
Yeah.
So maybe don't say
Oh,
those
good, it still
words.
works.
It still works. Fork.
Just start listing off various 4-letter words and figuring out which ones.
Which
Are-
one's
They're forking
Get
shirt
reactions.
balls.
Oh, maybe don't do that. No town Minish, no the hat. we bring food. We bring
Oh,
food they
okay.
like.
Yeah. What kind of food do they like?
Yes.
Okay, great.
That is the best answer.
You start scavenging.
Oh wait,
on the
just to
way.
confirm, is everyone as nice as you?
No.
Is
Oh.
but are they as abrasive as one such as myself? Can they be, or is that just a town minish?
Oh, who are you?
Soraya starts cursing.
Oh.
Oh,
oh,
I'm sorry. I'm Soraya.
hi, Fubari. Ah,
Hello.
Did we introduce our names?
No,
Absolutely.
Oh.
not.
I know did.
Oh.
We
Oh,
just
yeah, I did
started
not.
braiding her hair and
That's a
rubbing
my
her
bad.
hair.
Yeah, I
Cursing
introduced
at her.
myself.
She wanted to pick me up.
Look,
Oh,
a lot
I
of
guess-
things
hold
were
on.
happening.
I know did introduce us.
Minor
As we
shrinks
were
back
Oh yes,
on.
and that's when we noticed Dilly was missing.
Yes. So she does know our
And that
names.
pile over there is wait.
Okay. Oh, if we go, we can be before sunset. Before sun go down. So we leave soon.
Yeah, let's go. It's we'll pick up what food we find on the way and make our way there.
Actually making us move from our starting area.
Okay, but also it took
Yes?
well over an hour.
That's what I mean.
Hey, we're on brand for this show.
Yeah.
And what is a log if not a natural alley?
There you go.
The forest is made of many alleys.
When you think about it.
It's just not urban planning.
Earthen planning.
Wow.
I was trying to come up with a good one, and I'm like, someone will take this.
Wow. Mato's gonna shrink back to normal size after doing
Okay.
what he was doing.
Oh yeah, was there anything that you actually wanted to do while you were up there? Because
I was gonna say like look for like anything that I would be able to like mask sense, I guess.
Do you have any food in your pockets?
I was about to say, did you see any
And
food
did
up
it
there?
increase in size?
Oh.
Is that how that works?
Oh, that would be a
I'm
thing.
Jody?
asking.
I'm going to say
So the rule that I have is that everything like clothing and all that, does that mean everything else?
Getting
Yeah,
real
'cause
into law of
I would
conservation of
like
mass
to
here.
add that if it doesn't increase in size, then we've got a problem with Dilly's pockets right now in the other direction.
It does, but if you take it out, it goes back to normal. So
Yes,
you just
Jody.
take things out and there's a muffin this big.
I believe you were about to declare a law of physics.
Sorry.
This is important lore, folks.
screw you all. Damn. I will say
Put it in.
anything that you are wearing would grow or shrink with you, but as soon as it is no longer in contact with you, it would return to its normal size, which I realize is probably going to create a lot of problems that you guys are going to exploit.
Yes.
I
But
think the
just-
other thing would have
Yep.
caused more problems.
That is
Yeah,
correct.
I'm like, it feels like that would cause even more problems.
So
Let's be
hypothetically
clear,
speaking,
I was going to exploit whatever you said.
so hypothetically speaking,
Don't we all?
not gonna do it here because I just want to know it for later with that knowledge in mind. If I throw a shield at someone's face, does it go from minish size to normal Hylian size, or is it size relative to our normal size in this world?
Yeah, it is size relative to normal size in this world.
Okay,
So
it'd be from so not like a frisbee turning into a giant metal disc coming into your face. It'd be a giant metal disc thrown into turning into a frisbee. Okay, that's good
Yeah.
to know.
But
So
if
when I
you
wanna-
give me the shield and then I shrink down,
We'll workshop it.
Or if it only has to be in contact with you.
Exactly. You've made an interesting choice here, Jody, as a GM. I hope you know that.
turned me into Ant-Man, so
Oh, wait until you guys get to your next tier and
Oh,
get
boy,
more
I
stuff
can't wait.
involved with that.
Oh
The next
boy,
tier is the
can't
quantum
wait.
realm.
No. I mean, next tier is in level. TIER.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
There's like 50 different kinds of tiers in this game. You'll have to.
yeah.
Anyway, I was looking for like fruits and like other stuff.
You're still even at like 12 feet to the tall. You're still a little bit too small to be able to interact with any of the fruits.
Well, I hit
and-
my head on the log. Can I like get my hands over it and like try to like climb up it?
Yeah, you can get on top of the log without too much difficulty. You're still basically on the ground. So if you want to look around long enough, you might be able to find maybe some acorns on the ground, but any
Yes.
fruit or even berries would still be well above what you can reach.
How tall is this tree? Jesus Christ.
Well, a 12-inch tall log is only about that big.
Wait, 12-inch?
Yeah, well,
Because I go up to like 9 feet.
So
relative to what
12 feet relative to a Minish. So
Oh,
average.
oh, okay.
Like
I
we're
was-
considering
feet.
Yeah, we're considering
Okay.
your normal size is between about 5 to 6 feet. Because if I remember correctly, Motto himself is around like
Motto's one of the Motto's one of the taller people.
Okay, so going to 12 feet means you double in
Really
size.
short.
I'm sorry. I completely glossed over the fact because
Yeah.
I was just reading the actual ability where it's like up to 9 feet, and I forgot that was in relative to Minish.
Yeah.
And I was
Because
like,
again,
I'm
if you go back to
9 feet
Hyrule,
tall.
you can still grow, but it's going to. It doesn't mean that you turn into
Okay.
like a 20-foot tall tower. Or something.
I was like, wait, so if I become I'm confused. Okay, now I get it.
So yeah, for Minish, in general, we can just replace feet with inches.
Got it.
It's not a perfect conversion, but it's
I'm
easy.
going to just immediately put that.
Compared to everyone else, you look 12 feet tall.
Great, cool. I'm just gonna grab acorns and then like bring them. And
So
just gonna,
Dilly
like,
being a centimeter is a Minish centimeter, which means
Yes.
they're like
Minish.
a speck,
Yeah. Roll time.
Minute.
a bacteria-sized being.
Yes.
She's seeing, what are they called? Tardigans or
Tardigrade.
Tardigrades.
tardigrades? There we go.
A tardigan is a cardigan that a tardigrade wears.
Okay. We're walking to the forest Minish village.
Lord.
Tardigan is also my Peter, Paul, and Mary cover band. So So as you guys are walking through the forest, I would assume that Fubari is again kind of informing you what various things are, and you guys are noticing. Again, having never been at kind of this level before, you guys are noticing things about nature that are kind of interesting. You'll see like you walk past a grouping of ants, which look to be the size of like horses, and they're doing their own thing.
Do they look hostile?
You don't get close enough to find out. Fubari would know if you piss off ants, they are very aggressive, but you
Fubari,
generally have to piss them off.
Can you ride those ants as like a form of transportation? Can you domesticate ants?
Yes,
You can?
but they long time.
Oh, so like
Long
trying to use
time
wild
lock
ants
training.
would not be good.
No.
So what's the life?
Well, maybe they have some in the village.
So if that would take very long, what's the lifespan of these ants?
It's
What's the lifespan of a Minish?
How long
Yeah,
do we
I was about to
have?
20
2.5
minutes. You guys are gone.
days. Actually, I'm not sure how long ants live.
Ants don't live long. I think Minish live quite a long time.
Yeah, Minish
Don't they
for
explain
our
this in Minish Cap?
for our purposes right now, Minish are going to have a similar lifespan to Hylians. And if I'm contradicting the Minish cap, then
It was vague lore. It was just that they show up once every 100 years, but
Yeah.
like, it wasn't clear if it was the same Minish or not.
Males, after mating with the
You're
queen, only
muted,
live
Ilea.
a few weeks, and females can live up to several months.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It really depends on the species because depending on the species, it could be a few days to a few
To a year.
decades.
Yeah.
Some are a few decades depending on like which member of the colony they
I
are.
can't
Yeah.
believe
So-
there are ants older than me.
Oh,
Okay.
I just got very excited about that.
And now you know. You learn
Yay.
things every
Because
session.
it's my
Every
super short
session.
show.
Okay, we'll revisit this idea whenever we get to the village.
I really like the idea of ants effectively being like the horses of the Minish.
It's exactly what I was thinking. As soon as you said it, I was like, I have many questions. Can we ride
Like
beetles?
there are
Can we ride-
domesticated ants, but they take forever to domesticate, and like the Mustangs are just a pain in the butt. And
Just imagining ants with like a Ford
How does that
branded
work with the
logo on their back.
hierarchy? Do you then become their queen?
well, see, that's the other thing is
want
that
that.
domesticating a queen is just not something that would ever happen. So basically, any domesticated horses have to be broken like a wild Mustang, or domesticated ants have to be broken like a wild Mustang every single time.
Right. So then, do they acknowledge you as their queen once you break them?
It's a fantastic question. None of the Minish have ever taken the time to sit down and talk with the ants to figure out how they view them.
Well, I mean, patterns of behavior. All right.
So we could keep going.
Yeah, we do not piss off the wild ants. Or
So
interact
these
with them
particular
in any
ones,
way.
the ones that you guys saw were black ants. The red ones can be very, very hostile.
It's okay. I have a scimitar.
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 Please don't think that that's actually how it's pronounced. It is scimitar. Like the sword person in me is going, no, don't say scimitar. It's wrong. It's scimitar. That's how it's pronounced. If you really want to get technical, it's probably closer to a shamshir than a scimitar, but whatever.
A shamshir scimitar. Got it.
Shamshir is technically an Indian blade and has a significantly more narrow blade, whereas a scimitar it has just kind of a wider, thicker blade, is a little bit heavier. I like swords. So as you guys are all kind of wandering, Fubara, you would be really the only person that would be aware of this. As you're walking, you suddenly smell this kind of sickly sweet smell in the air, and the rest of you would recognize the smell. You know, it's very, very sweet. But you guys notice that Fubari just kind of stops in her tracks, and immediately, Fubari, you go and grab your pen nib bayonet, and you watch as Fubari just kind of crouches down and just starts looking around randomly.
Is that quick enough to seem aggressive to us?
Didn't hear you. What did you say?
Be very quiet.
Oh.
I don't know if I made it clear that I probably reverted back before I did this because being very large, I probably would make more noise. So if I haven't gotten back to normal, I'm gonna do it now.
Okay.
Just.
There's danger coming. Prepare yourselves.
I quietly prepare myself. Which
Billy preps
I'm
a
already
very
prepared
small
for.
dagger in their hand.
I wield
Motto.
my scimitar.
You see Motto take a disc out of the pack. And like slides it onto like his arm and then taps it and taps the like the main like icon of it. It's like an icon of like a forest of trees, and you see like it light up green, and then you see like appearing out of it essentially a shield in the shape of a leaf.
Fubari is very impressed by this.
Does Zariah lean against her staff and kind of smirk?
Kind of smoke? What?
Smirk.
Oh, I'm just like,
Yeah,
all right,
start
let's go.
smoking.
I was very confused.
Suddenly on fire.
Ayo. I'm so confused.
Prepare to defend yourself. It is Chucho. It's coming.
As you all,
It is coming. It is fast. It is coming.
as you go, as you all are just kind of sitting there, you can smell that kind of sickly sweet scent getting stronger and stronger. You guys are starting to taste kind of honey in the back of your throat, to the point where it's getting almost nauseatingly sweet. And then suddenly, you see one of the clovers above you just start kind of leaning down, and this giant kind of gloop of green gelatin almost just kind of plummets down to the center of all of you. And just to get some rolling started, I'm going to have everybody go ahead and make me a wisdom, we can call it a wisdom defense roll. So for Dottie, the way that, and this is going to be a difficulty 3 check for everyone else. So Dottie, the way that rolling works in the Cypher system, which we're using a modified version of, is you you roll a single d20, and you are trying to roll higher than the difficulty. And so because this is a level 3 difficulty, to figure out what number you're supposed to roll, you just multiply it by 3. So level 3 difficulty means you need to roll a 9 or higher.
If you're trained in it, it reduces it a level, right?
Yes.
My bad. I'm sorry.
It's perfectly fine. Unlike D&D, where you have like modifiers that you add to your roll, you actually never add any kind of modifiers to your roll in the Cypher system. What happens is, depending on what's going on, your various skills and things like that, you will change the difficulty of the roll for yourself. So for you in particular, I'm just looking really quickly at your skills. So you don't have anything in particular that would apply skill-wise to this. However, because you were ready and kind of waiting for this, I'm going to give you what's called an asset. An asset is just something that works in your benefit for this role. So, and an asset will reduce the difficulty by 1 level. So now you only need to roll a 6 or higher on a d20.
Okay.
If you wanted to make it easier, you can do what's called applying a level of effort. Basically what that is if you look at your character sheet, you see those 3 pools that say courage, wisdom, and power on the left, in the left column near the top of your character sheet. So those are your various pools, and they're a combination of your hit points and like your ability points all in one. The reason I will call it a wisdom roll as opposed to a courage or a power roll is because if you wanted to apply a level of effort, you have to take points out of your wisdom roll or your wisdom pool to do that. And to apply a single level of effort, it costs you 3 wisdom points. Does that make sense?
Yeah. When do you get them back? Like,
you can get them
eventually?
back. If you notice right underneath it, you see this thing that says recovery rolls.
yeah.
Throughout a day, you get a grand total of 4 recovery rolls. Your first one takes a single action. Your second one takes 10 minutes. Your third one takes an hour. And then your fourth one takes 10 hours. And that's basically a long rest, if we're talking about like D&D terms. And then also in chat can give you what are called recovery tokens, which just gives you a free recovery roll. And so if you were to make a recovery roll, you roll a d6, you add 1 to it, and then you can restore that many points from any pool. Anytime you take damage, you lose points from your pools, generally starting with courage, then wisdom, then power. So as you can see, it's kind of combination hit points and ability points. So right now, if you were to make this wisdom roll, you'd roll a d20, and as long as you roll a 6 or higher, you will succeed. and good things happen. If you're like, you know what, I'm not sure if I can roll a 6, if you apply 1 level of effort, that reduces it down to a difficulty 1 task. So you'd only have to roll a 3 or higher. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that being said, I've already asked for rolls for everyone. So I'm going to start with everyone else, and then we'll come back to you at the end.
Hold on. What was it?
Difficulty 3.
Ah!
The only thing with effort is if you want to use effort, you do need to choose to use the effort before you make the roll. Does that make sense? Once you've made the roll, that is your roll.
Yes.
Okay. So let's start with Aino. What do you got for me?
I did use some effort, which is good because I rolled a 9 and I couldn't remember if meat beats or not. So I brought it down to a 2, and then I rolled a 9.
All right. So meat does beat, and you succeed.
Right.
So
Wait.
still good. Hey,
It would have been good,
always
but I'm
nice,
glad I did it anyway.
always nice to kind of hedge your
Wisdom's
bets.
not my strongest point, so.
All right. So this is cool. Dilly.
I'm very wise, and I just rolled a straight 16.
I'm very
Awesome.
wise.
Zariah.
I'm trained, so I brought it down, which is a good thing because I rolled an 8.
All right. Motto.
It was wisdom. It was not wisdom defense, right?
It is wisdom defense. Yes.
Wait, am I? No, I'm untrained in that. No.
I will say
7.
wielding a shield gives you an asset to wisdom defense rolls in general.
Oh.
Me trying
So
to
as
remember
long
what
as you
that
have a
is.
shield out,
I
asset just
do.
means it reduces. Again, any modification to the roll is basically going to be it either lowers the difficulty by a level or raises it. So an asset lowers it by 1 level, and you can have a mod.
Thank God I
and then-
literally described putting a shield on. Yes.
Adesh.
Oh boy.
The armor point I have,
Mm-hmm.
does that affect wisdom defense?
Armor, the way that armor works is anytime you take damage,
No,
you will
okay.
reduce the amount of damage you take by your armor.
Man, okay, I rolled a 5, so I did.
Cool. So you're going to get squished.
Cool.
Before we get your roll, Fabari, you can take a reroll token, which is exactly what it sounds like. You can burn this token if you have a roll that you don't like to reroll it, and that's from Imp in my head. And the message is, Fubari, welcome to the shenanigans. So
let's
now that
have
we've
it.
had everyone else, what are you rolling? Like, are you just going to roll a d20? Are you going to apply a level effort? What do you think?
Let's apply a level of effort, just so I
Okay.
kind of learn how to do that.
So on your character sheet, you will see there are red numbers, and then below them there are black numbers. The black numbers are your maximums. You shouldn't be
Okay.
changing those. So if you want to go to your wisdom pool, if you mouse over it, you'll see a little up and down arrows, and just reduce it by 3.
Okay.
And then go ahead and just roll a d20.
All right. 5.
5. So not quite enough. You need to roll at least a 6. So as the actually no, you actually because you had an asset from being aware of it and you reduce it, it brought it down to a 3. So you succeed. So everybody but Adesh, it looks like. You guys see this kind of glob of gloop falling down, and you all just kind of jump out of the way. Adesh, as you see everyone reacting, you just kind of reflexively, not even realizing you're doing it, you just pull your scimitar out, and then you look up and you get slammed by this big gooey mass of stuff. And I would like everybody to roll for initiative.
Okay.
Just a d20 or?
So it's initiative roll is a wisdom roll. You can apply effort to it. The way that it works is monsters in Monsters in the Cypher system have a level. So like a level 2 monster, level 3 monster, and that correlates to what their what initiative you need to beat to go before them. So this particular monster is a level 3 monster. There's a few level 3 monsters here. So you need to roll a 9 or higher to go before them. Your particular character, you do have this thing called Danger Sense. So
The danger.
if you read it, it says your initiative task is eased, which means if you want to burn a single wisdom point, you can, instead of having to roll a 9 or higher to go before it, you'd only have to roll a 6 or higher. One thing I forgot to mention, there's this thing called Edge. Edge, you have in each one of your pools, Courage, Wisdom, Power. And your edge is basically a way for you to reduce the amount of points you have to burn in order to do something. Basically, anytime you are going to make a roll and you're going to use points on that roll for something, like applying effort or using this danger sense, you can subtract your edge from the number of points that you have to do. So because you have a wisdom edge of 1, if you want to go to your wisdom pool and just increase it by 1, because when you applied that level of effort, I forgot to talk about edge. So you actually have 1 more wisdom point than you should. Does that make sense? And then because this is a separate roll, your edge applies again. So if you wanted to use danger sense, because you have an edge of 1 and it costs 1 wisdom point, it's basically free for you. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Okay. So basically all you need to do anytime I ask for a roll, the only thing that really matters is roll your d20, and I will say it's a courage roll or a wisdom roll. The only reason that matters is if you want to apply effort or anything, you'll be taking it from that pool. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Okay. So that being said, why doesn't everybody roll initiative for me? I have to finish setting up my initiative track here.
I got a very good roll here.
I did too, and I hope that means it's not gonna.
Yep, mine is so good.
That it's
Yeah,
not gonna
mine is
be
excellent.
I'm hoping that means it's not gonna be like crappy. I hope we didn't just waste that lovely roll that I just got. Also, I'm gonna use the big one so you can see it. These are from Imp, and my 20s are little teacups.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Hey.
nice.
That is adorable.
What are your ones? Just ones?
They're just ones.
Hmm.
This is the pumpkin spice latte dice.
I was hoping it would be like a
What did you roll
sideways,
on
like,
it?
spilled teacup.
What did I roll on the dropped?
Yeah.
A 1, amusingly. Thankfully, that was not my
So-
actual.
Let's start.
Shout it out.
Let's start with I know. What do you got for initiative?
I have a 20, which I hope is not going to be a wasted 20.
Adesh,
5 again.
Oh.
Again?
Zariah. You said 3?
9.
9. Sorry.
Sorry, 3, 9.
Divisible.
I always, for whatever reason, I learned finger spelling. I never learned numbers, and like I've been taught over and over and over again because my mom used to sign interpret for church, and so she taught me all my numbers. I never remember them. I don't know why. Dilly.
Dilly is very wise, but also very small, and rolled a 2.
Cool. Mato.
Natural 20.
Cool. Fubari.
12.
12. Cool. So, I don't know. Again, you've played a little bit of D&D before, so you understand initiative is basically just turn order.
Mhm.
It's not quite as stringent in the Cypher system as it is in D&D, but it does make it easier for me to just go in whatever you rolled. So that being said, both Aino and Mato got 20s. Which one of you guys wants to go first? Really, Elias?
Elias is a hater.
Wait, what? What
I'm
just
just
happened?
sitting here. I don't know what you're talking
He
about.
deleted Im's message.
There's no evidence of this wild.
Wait,
claim.
did you delete?
Pumpkin dice
Dice
latte.
latte.
It's literally called that. That is, he bought me these. This was a Christmas present.
That's the real name?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the actual
I thought it
name.
was a pun.
No,
It is a pun.
It
but
is
it's
a
also
pun.
the name.
Elias famously hates puns.
I
In,
think
why
they
it
figured
has-
that out by
marketing,
now.
Puns are a
has-
remarkably useful thing.
This lovely little, I'm trying to do this word. There we go. Little cup for my 20. And you will notice it is a lovely orangey pumpkin color.
Um,
Just
Anyway,
realized I forgot
Uh,
my battle music.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's a peaceful blob. Peaceful green
Look
blob.
what you
Lex, would you like
caused,
to go
Elias.
first? I have no preference.
I
at
also
you.
have no preference, so I don't mind going first because I would like to use.
Roll for it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Roll off.
roll off.
You're gonna win. I got a 3.
Natural 20 again.
Fantastic. Hopefully that.
Let me read exactly what this description is.
Okay.
Because I have something called foil danger. I have to
Okay.
I have to spend power points to do it, which I can. And I can negate a source of potential danger related to one creature or object that I am aware of within immediate distance for 1 round. Are they within immediate distance? And do I need to already know what it is in order to use that?
You can tell that these are dangerous because Fubari has already told you that they're dangerous. So you're aware that they're danger. Because of you actually have an ability.
But it's also I need to know a source, not just because they're dangerous, right? It's like because
let me
meant
look at what's it called again?
foil danger. Yeah, it's this could be a weapon or device held by someone, a trap triggered by a pressure plate, or a creature's natural ability, something special, innate, or dangerous. It doesn't necessarily say that I need to already be aware of what that source is. So it's
So
just knowing that they're dangerous enough.
So the way that foil danger effectively works is you are actively taking a step to prevent an enemy from doing something dangerous to you. So in this particular instance, if you want to use foil danger, you're totally I'm going to try this one more at a time. I'm totally fine with you using this ability, and it's effectively going to be, from a mechanical benefit, you're basically going to take away the action of one of these creatures. What I need you to do is describe to me how you are going to prevent one of the creatures from acting for a round. And if you know what a choo-choo is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so these are just kind of medium-sized choo-choos. So they're, compared to you guys, they're about the same height as you guys, and there's 3 of them. So if you can describe to me how you are going to prevent a choo-choo from attacking you guys, whether it's you're going to go up and just like interpose your shield so that anytime they try to attack, all they do is hit your shield, or, you know, wrap them up in vines or something. I don't know. You just have to describe how you're going to do it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep, 100%. I'm going to do that. And oh, right, I forgot. Like I was the intrusive thought was just put something on the ground so they can't move it, and I forgot I believe Choo Choo can jump.
They can. They're remarkably good at it.
Yeah, I forgot about that part. So I am just gonna try to close distance and get in front of one and just nope, you ain't moving.
Okay,
and
cool.
like put next to it.
So yeah, this is going to require a roll for that. So it's going to be a power roll. So go ahead and burn your power points.
I burn the 2. I'm not gonna put effort in it because I don't have that much effort to use or have that much power to use here.
Okay.
What was the difficulty?
They're level 3 creatures, so difficulty 3. So
15.
9
Success.
or higher. Yeah. So yeah, you guys watch as Mado kind of rushes forward, and as he goes forward, you can see him placing a shield from his backpack onto his arm, and it grows into the kind of normal.
That leaf one.
Yeah. Oh, he already had so he already has his leaf shield, and so as he comes forward, he just does this, and you can watch as this choo-choo kind of moves forwards, and you just kind of bash and keep moving the choo-choo. You guys can see Mado sitting there, like, I got this. And so those two are kind of locked in a struggle. Very quickly, From Imp in my head, he gave me 3 GM intrusion tokens, which I will play around with momentarily. However, also from Imp, Dilly, we have an accord. Take a player intrusion token.
I labeled it intrusion token to use against Elias. It has its own spot.
Great.
Gotcha.
Great. I'm happy for you about that.
All right, so that is your turn. Let's go to Aino, and Dottie, I will explain kind of how combat turns work when we get to yours.
Matta, what's your shield made out of? This is extremely
Such a
important.
dangerous question from
So
Huey.
important.
Anytime Aino goes, what's this made of?
Oh God, that has no. I think
Epic
that's just
always
become a
happens.
weird phrase that I, as a player, you got to be afraid of.
What would
Yeah.
you say is the viscosity of this choo-choo?
Remembering the
Honestly,
finale of the last campaign. What is he wearing?
I do want
Specifically,
that.
who are you wearing? Wolf?
Jody, I do want that question about viscosity answered, though. Just like giving you a heads up.
I feel
Viscosity
like
is not something I have ever studied, so
Are
I
they
have
like
no idea
jelly?
what levels of.
It's like, yeah, thickness.
I-
Is it like honey? Is it like
The same
I
viscosity
feel
as
like a
Flubber.
Jello
It has-
jigglers.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Jody, let me know if this is off base. Can I say it's like there's like it's mix of like wood but also metal because it's also like a retractable sort of thing?
Sure, the shield can be made of whatever you want it to be made of. I'm not
Cool.
gonna.
Be made of wood, man.
Okay, wood. Is that wood?
Well, you don't want it to be conductive, or at least
Oh, I
you
know what
want
you're about-
something.
Right. I know what you're about to do here. All right, it's
I'm-
it's wooden.
Wood does work as an insulator.
Completely made of metal.
It's what
highly
I was like.
conductive.
I just want to remind you.
Thank
My,
you for the
my
reminder.
title in this world is an inquisitive sorcerer who rides the lightning.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
Dude,
Okay, yeah, it's wood.
the
It's
idea
wood.
of a wooden shield in Zelda, there is precedent. A lot of it.
At least
I'm
it's
just
not a
thinking
red
of the
choo-choo.
retractable parts of this. I'm gonna say wood.
Okay.
Final answer.
I mean, it could be reinforced by steel, and you just need an insert.
Sure.
Cool. How is the choo-choo within?
The choo-choo and I are in direct. Like there's, I mean, unless there's multiple ones, the choo-choo
So,
and I am going is directly in front of me now.
When
I know,
these,
but I
they
don't know
literally
how much
dropped
you
on
pushed
you
it.
guys.
Okay.
So you all kind of jumped away. So all the choo-choo right now are within immediate distance of everybody.
Cool. Awesome. I know. Claps her hands together and does a slow little, and it's got some electricity. Like, oh, that's new. Or wait, no. Do I need a key? I need a key to do that, don't I?
For what we have kind of established, your Aurora powers are now lightning powers, and those are effectively
Those are a
exclusive to a key.
Okay.
You do still have your bag of marbles, though.
Does it take an action to do that?
We've already kind of established that a key will naturally merge with you when he feels that you're in danger.
Okay, cool.
So if you feel that this is a dangerous situation, which you were just told
Yeah.
by Fubaria that it is,
yes.
we could
Cool.
say that. So Fubaria, you would have noticed that after they all, or as you were all jumping away, you watched as the little kind of electric fox that follows Aino goes around actually kind of jumped onto her back, and then you watched as it kind of merged into her, and now her eyes are kind of sparking, and she's got this weird kind of electric glow to her, and her voice has changed slightly.
I love the idea of the this little mouse doing a clap, sparks, and you just hear this like weird, godlike, multi voice going, "That's new." So yeah, I'm gonna try and use my shock.
Okay.
It's 1 power point. But I got itch, motherfucker. Hands crackle with electricity, and the next time you touch a creature, you inflict 3 points of damage. All right. I'm assuming I have to basically roll to see if I could.
Yeah,
touch.
it's an attack effectively.
Buzz. An 18 hit.
18 definitely hits. So, my question for you: are you going for the one that Madao is kind of restraining, or are you going for one of the two that aren't currently?
Oh, for some reason I thought there was
engaged?
just the one.
Yeah, there's a total of 3.
Oh, okay. Whichever is closest to me, I suppose.
Okay, so we'll go with the one that Mado is not, or one of the ones that Mado is not dealing with. So yeah, as you rush forward, you watch as Aino just kind of, that's new, and then very similar to how a key kind of moves, you watch as Aino crouches and does this little kind of jump that looks exactly like a key for a moment, and then just grabs and kind of glomps onto this chew, and you watch as it just, and then you step back and you can see the choo-choo kind of smoking a bit.
That's fun.
Cool. That's going to bring us to Fubari. You are going to be up next. So, the way that a turn works in the Cypher system is you have an action. And that's it. There's no move, there's no bonus action, anything like that. You just have an action. As part of your action, you can move up to what's called an immediate distance. Distances in the Cypher system are described as immediate, which is within about 10 feet of you, a short distance, which is within about 50 feet, and then a long distance, which is within about 100 feet. So you can move up to about 10 feet and perform an action. And an action is everything from making an attack, doing something interesting, whatever you want to do. That is basically how it works. So relatively simple. That being said, what would you like to do for this turn?
Let's see. I would like to attack.
Okay. And because of your character, what particularly are you going to use to attack? Because you have, let's call it, options.
Okay. What is currently around us?
You guys are kind of in a clearing. There are some kind of shamrocks overhead, but the actual stems of the shishi shamrocks are far away, and they were just kind of overhanging. And then you have those 3 choo-choo, which are all within about an immediate distance. You're basically in a clearing with 3 little gel blobs near you, and that's really about it.
Okay.
And you have whatever is in your pockets as well.
All right. I think since I have it in my hand, I'm gonna use my pin nib spear.
Okay. So, as far as attack rolls go, again, every roll needs to be connected to a pool, but you can decide which pool you want to use for. This is what we're going to consider a weapon attack.
Okay.
To kind of describe what each one is, courage is associated with kind of strength and brute force and stuff. So if you're thinking that you're just gonna and like just beat it to death, that would be a courage roll. Wisdom is associated more with finesse and non-linear thinking and things like that. Consider courage akin to strength, wisdom akin to more like dexterity.
Do these things have like eyes like I don't know, Hexus from Ferngully, or are they just like gelatinous blobs of
they do have eyes. They look like little. Trying to think. I sent you a link that had
okay, yeah, I see
stuff.
some pictures.
If you go down to the one that says like yellow choo-choo and dark choo-choo, that's what they look like in the Minish Cap. They look like they have these little kind of blob bodies, and then they come up as like a little, like almost like reverse teardrop, and then they have little eyes and a mouth at the top.
Okay, I would like to aim and throw my spear directly through the eyeballs area.
Okay.
So I guess we go for wisdom for that.
Sure, that's perfectly fine. If did you want to throw it? Or did you want to thrust? Both of those, like, it's entirely up to you which pool you use. So you can use wisdom for a pokey, or you can throw it. But if you throw it, that also means that you'll have to retrieve it eventually.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a pokey.
Pokey, cool. So again, you're going to make an attack roll.
Okay.
Just a d20. It's a level 3 creature, so you need to roll a 9 or higher.
Okay.
And then again, if you want to apply a level of effort, effort can be applied 2 different ways for an attack roll. You can apply effort at the beginning to work like any other roll where you just reduce the difficulty, or you can apply effort to increase the damage. It'll just allow you to add, I think it's 2 points of damage to the attack. So that being said, I know this is a lot, but it makes sense as you do it more. Go ahead and make your roll and decide whether or not you want to use effort on it or not.
Okay. I'm not going to use effort at the start.
Okay.
It's a 2.
2. Okay. So as you go forward, you go to try to thrust in. As a reminder, you did get a reroll token, which is another thing that I would highly recommend leaving in your notes section.
Yes.
By the way, I have rerolls. So if you wanted to burn that reroll token, you could to reroll this, or we can just leave it.
Sure, why not?
Okay. So you go ahead and make another roll.
All right. It's a 1.
Oh no!
Worth it.
Even better.
Oh no!
So as you go forward,
Dice jail that.
when you roll a natural 1, I get what's called a GM intrusion.
Cool.
So I get to do something that makes things worse for you, effectively.
Bring it on.
So as you thrust forward and you thrust the pen nub into it, you do pierce the creature, but it doesn't seem to really bother it. And then as you try, you can't get your spear back. It is stuck in this creature.
Which one is this?
The same one that, well, I guess I'll ask Fubari, did you want to attack the same one that was just glomped? Did you want to attack the one that Motto is similar, or did you want to attack the third one that nobody's touched?
The one that Motto's dealing with.
Okay. So yeah, the one that Motto's dealing with now has a spear kind of sticking out of it at an odd angle. And you've lost the ability to use that weapon until you retrieve it in some way.
Where did it land? Does it also hit me in the process, or do I barely avoidly miss?
It didn't hit you, but now as you're trying to block this every so often, your shield will also get slapped with the end of this spear that's just randomly sticking out now.
Yeah, no.
She has effectively armed the Choo-Choo. So that is your turn.
Great first guest appearance in the campaign.
You are our first guest, by the way, in this campaign, so welcome.
Yay!
Zariah, you are up next. Real quick, from Imp. Fubari, whose side are you on? Take a reroll token.
I don't know if you can say that, Imp. You just gave our tormentor 3 intrusions.
Yeah,
Which side
are
are
you
you
on?
Yeah.
The side of chaos.
The more you try to hurt the Lions, the more you hurt us.
The audacity.
If you just make deals with him, it'll work out.
So Zariah has sort of noticed that there's an off weight in her pocket areas, I guess, in her, because she still has her pouch. And so she's going to open it and like take out a handful of seeds and just kind of look at it and try to figure it out. And she just knows that she has to throw it. So she's just going to take it and she's going to look at the one that like no one has touched yet and just kind of like throw it at them.
Cool. Go ahead and make your attack. You guys watch as Zariah pulls these seeds out and throws them. As they're flying through the air, you see little bits of smoke start flying off them, and then they suddenly burst into flame as they are flying towards this choo-choo.
Oh, I like that. 13.
13 definitely hits. How much damage does that do? Should be in the ability.
Yeah, I know. I'm reading. Hold on. The attack deals 3 points of damage and catches the target on fire, which inflicts 1 additional point of damage per round. For up to a minute. Or until...
Oh, that's fun.
Section. Yep. So, 3 points of damage and an additional point of damage every round.
So you guys watch as the seeds kind of impact this choo-choo. First you watch as the choo-choo kind of writhes and wriggles, and then you watch as a little flame just kind of grows, and now it is a flaming choo-choo. the choo-choo is on fire.
And Zerai is watching it in utter glee.
Cool. It's choo-choo time.
Oh no.
Can we not?
Intrusion
We're
token.
missing
no.
No, kidding. Move on.
So, because I have so many GM intrusions, I'm going to burn a few of them. The choo-choo that Motto is dealing with is dealt with because Motto is dealing with them. So Motto, the choo-choo now kind of realizing what it can do with this thing sticking out of it is now basically using it as like a bat. And so you're just like ching, 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 ching. But that's its entire turn, is just trying to get around your defense and
Do I need to
failing
do-
miserably.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no, that's your action removed its action. So I just wanted to narrate it because it's more fun now.
Oh, cool. Just to make sure.
The one that was just glomped by I know is going to kind of raise up and get very, very tall and then attempt to kind of fall on you and body slam you. I would like you to make me a wisdom defense roll. However, I'm going to burn an intrusion token. And as you're kind of focusing on the top, you don't notice that the little tendrils at the bottom go and actually wrap one of your feet. So I am going to increase the difficulty at the task by 1 level. So this is a difficulty 4 wisdom defense roll.
I want to just cancel your shit out with one of my player intrusions.
You're welcome to. That is one of the things that you could use a player intrusion token for.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Okay. So as you're watching this, you feel something around your feet, and you realize that the thing is trying to kind of wrap your feet up, and you just kind of look at it, and you feel Eki in your mind just go, "That's rude," and suddenly there's this spark of lightning near your feet, and the tendrils immediately retract.
Okay.
So difficulty 3, then wisdom defense roll.
That's a 9.
Yepers.
I'm gonna spend one of these. Make it 8-2. Which I didn't need to do because that's a 19, baby.
So a 19 gives you a lesser effect. So what kind of nice thing in addition to avoiding the attack would you like to happen?
Does it have to happen to that guy specifically?
No, a 19 in general just gives you a nice thing. So
Cool. I would love it if that when it's that little whoop, which makes it kind of retract. Also maybe hits a rock and then that thing goes zooming and somehow knocks that spear a little loose.
Sure, I'm good with that. So to give it a little bit more narrative fun, as it comes down to attack you, you kind of dodge out of the way, you wink at it, and another kind of spark happens, and the choo-choo recoils and actually bumps into the choo-choo that Madao is dealing with. They merge for a quick second, and while they're merged, the spear just kind of plops out and drops to the floor, and then they kind of separate back into 2 different creatures.
That would be so uncomfortable. Like, we are one in a not great way.
The flaming choo-choo is... Zerai, choose even or odd.
Oh no.
Turning.
Okay. The flaming choo-choo is going to run, is going to be running around randomly, is going to run directly at Zariah. And I'm going to use a GM intrusion token to just make it do a little bit more damage. So go ahead and make an attack or a wisdom defense roll as this giant flaming choo-choo is going to try and run through you. Be difficulty 3.
Well, I'm trained and it's 2, but I got a 19.
You also get a minor effect. That's what they're called, minor effects. So go ahead and think about the minor effect that you want from your 19. But while this is happening, as it's running forward, you can see little bits of it melting off because of the fire. It runs forward And even after it misses you, there's this kind of puff of flame, and you still take 1 point of damage as it kind of explodes near you, and it gets up and just keeps continuing to run, trying to find a way to put these flames out. Do you have an idea what you would like for your minor effect?
Something that's surprisingly. Let's see. Can there be like a dried husk or something that, since things are getting stuck in it, because if you can actually set like husks on fire, they burn really hot for extended periods of time.
I have a little crush on your brain right now.
So do you want the Choo-Choo to basically run into like a bug husk and set it on fire as well?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So now there is also a bonfire, a very hot bonfire.
Sorry, I was thinking more like it got stuck on it rather than.
I would say getting it stuck on it would be more of like a major effect than a minor. But setting another thing on fire in the environment would definitely be a minor effect. So you would have this additional source of fire, or you can choose something else for a minor.
Gonna hate us. Okay, then I need other ideas, because I was thinking like it can get like it basically rolled over some husks, and since things were sticking into it, it could like be carrying this with it.
Oh, okay.
It's harder to make it like put out.
Oh, I'm good with that. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Perfect.
You put sparklers in the Jello.
I did.
Basically, you now have a Choo-Choo that has a bug exoskeleton that is also on fire. You guys have just created the Iron Man Choo-Choo.
Gross.
And Imp has mentioned that he sure hopes that there isn't a Minish Bakery anywhere nearby. So, moving on. Adesh, what would you like to do?
So am I like inside a Choo-Choo, or what's... How
no, it landed on you. So you basically got slimed like Bill Murray in Ghostbusters.
Oh, I didn't take any damage or anything.
You would have taken damage. You would have taken 4 points of damage. Sorry.
Reduced to 3.
Yes.
Okay. All right. This enchanted weapon special ability mentions it costs 1 power point. Is that 1 power point to do the enchanting process?
Yeah, that's 1 power point to enchant the blade, and it is already enchanted. Yeah.
Cool.
And basically, all of your spells now come out of the sword as opposed to however they normally would. I would also mention that the other ability you have allows you to choose a different pool to take points from whenever you use one of those.
I read it, yeah.
All right, so.
All right. So I'm gonna look at. Is there still a Choo-Choo that hasn't been touched?
The only one that hasn't taken any damage thus far is the one that Motto is currently dealing with.
Excellent. It's distracted. I'm going to be annoyed at this situation. Feel like I can use my magic better here for some reason with this weapon, due to this inherently knowledged connection I have with it. And I'm going to try to use my new Shadow Shot ability via the Scimitar.
Ooh. So
This
I'm going to let you
idea
choose.
that I'm going with.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. I'm going to let you choose. The Shadow Flames. The Shadow Flames are still damaging to you in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I would
So
take
I'll let
1
you
point of
choose.
damage from this.
Oh, you can either take 1 point of the damage, or it can damage the scimitar in some way that will become apparent later on.
I think that I can heal better than the scimitar, so
Okay.
I'm going to run up to this choo-choo, distracted by Mato parrying it with its shield, and just think really hard about how I trained the night previously and channel this shadow fire magic I've been imbued with into this scimitar for a brief moment and just slice clean into it.
Cool.
Slightly burning myself in the process, but it's fine. I'm still learning how to do everything.
So go ahead and make your attack roll.
And this defense 3?
Yep. Or it's difficulty 3, so 9 or higher.
Okay. Difficulty 3, 9 or higher. I'm going to do something. I'm gonna burn 3 wisdom points.
Okay.
To reduce it to 2.
Cool.
$18.
18. All right.
I think that beats difficulty 2.
Definitely does. On an attack roll, if you get a 17, you do 1 additional point of damage. 18 does 2 additional points of damage.
So that's 7 total points of damage to it. Does that additional points of damage also hurt me as well? Okay.
No. So you guys watch as Adesh runs forward, and as he's going, he draws his scimitar and kind of draws his finger along the blade, and wherever his finger touches, you guys watch as this black flame starts slowly growing and engulfs the blade. You see this slight expression of pain as the flame goes and engulfs the hilt of the weapon, but he goes in and just slashes, and you watch as the choo-choo that Mato is dealing with gets kind of severed, and you can see it kind of falls down into 2 pieces and is slowly melting away. You see it slowly form up again, but it seems really, really unsteady and significantly smaller than it was before. Is that your turn then?
After that, I turn to Mato, quickly pat him on the shoulder, say, "You got this," and I go and deal with it.
Huh?
Dilly, what do you want to do?
Hi. So is Fibari still next to the creature she gave?
Oh, you're still a centimeter tall.
Yeah, you haven't changed that yet. Yeah, she is.
Great. So, I would like to use my I'm sorry, Elias intrusion token. And
But you're not sorry.
well, Dilly is sorry. This is an accident for Dilly.
Sorry, not sorry about what I did.
I'm just trying to have some fun. And Dilly, with a very small rage, is going to shimmy down the leg, go down Fibari's leg, do tucks and rolls towards the Jello that's right next to them, choo-choo, and then trip. And when tripping, they still have their dagger in their hand, but instead of stabbing at the choo-choo, it gets under them on the flat edge, and their momentum starts lifting up, and then they let go of the dagger, which continues the momentum up, and the choo-choo goes flying and lands on Adesh's head.
Okay.
Heck of an intrusion.
So if you're using that as your intrusion, you
Yes.
still technically have an action.
I
The intrusion is not your action.
So that is what I want to do. And then what I want you to decide is, now that the dagger is normal sized for this world, can Dilly find a way to bring it back to their size and put it in their pocket? Or will it stay normal sized?
Wow. I'm going to say If you threw it because of your bracer, it wouldn't grow in size because it's technically still attached to you through the bracer. If you just let it go, it'll grow in size, but you can't, it's no longer kind of connected to your bracer anymore. So you are down 1 dagger.
Okay, so it can't go back.
Not until you physically touch it again.
Great. So for turn, they're going to look really wide-eyed, say something very high-pitched that might sound like oops, and then start shoving a giant dagger back into their pocket and have it shrink as they're shoving it down.
Okay.
Yes?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
So yeah, this you guys see some motion on Fubari, and then suddenly this dagger kind of appears out of nowhere and flings this choo-choo. It lands on Adesh's head, and Adesh, we're going to say that it doesn't do any damage to you right now, but you are effectively blinded.
I can't breathe.
Yeah, blinded and suffocating.
It's just slowly going down.
So yeah, you now have a choo-choo head.
That's fantastic.
Which sounds like a like schoolyard insult.
You choo-choo
which I'm
head.
good with. Going back to top of the order, Mado.
Yeah, this is unlocking a lot of trauma for Adesh.
So I don't have an enemy in front of me, correct?
You do. It's just very, very weak. The one that you were distracting before is not dead yet, but it's almost dead. It's mostly dead.
Mostly dead.
Hopefully.
I'm not yet dead. I can dance and I can sing.
Does it feel happy? Because it's about to die. I'm going to go attack it.
It's
go
about
for
to do
it.
the Highland Fling.
This is wisdom, right?
Sure, if that's what you want.
You're
a very nimble dude with your shields.
Yeah, I believe all my... I never know where my stuff is.
You literally can choose per attack if you want to go courage or wisdom.
Oh, cool.
The only time I won't let you make an attack roll is power attack rolls generally have to either be magical in nature or somehow intellectual, because powers connect to mind and ender power.
Which he doesn't specifically have a big on that one. Natural 19. So I don't think it matters either way.
Yeah, you get a minor effect. Go ahead and think about what you're doing with that. If I remember correctly, your shields count as medium weapons, right? So that's 4 points of damage.
So,
just accept it. I'm being polite, but
no,
I'm telling you,
yeah,
it is a medium weapon.
Oh no, yeah. I'm also looking into.
So as you kind of go there, you guys watch as Mado takes his leaf shield and just kind of looks at this thing and just goes, huh, and just goes splart. And you watch as it just kind of splashes, and then it's kind of stuck to your shield for a little bit, so you're kind of wiping it off your shield.
Okay.
Do you have an idea on a minor effect that you'd like?
I'm just double checking some of the rules. I think some of them, at least what I'm remembering and looking up, is I can get some things back, like I can regain points.
Not with a minor effect.
Then I am looking at the wrong thing. Hold on. Let me.
Adesh, you had something you wanted to ask while
I just wanted to
figuring this out?
clarify. The 18 I rolled, the minor effect was the extra damage.
Minor effect is a 19. Major effect is a 20. 17 and 18 are just extra damage only when you do a attack. Technically, if you wanted Motto, your minor effect could just be 3 extra points of damage because it's an attack roll. But I'm going to tell you right now, it had 2 hit points when you hit it.
Then let's not use it towards that. Shoot, I can't find the thing about it. Oh no.
Here, give me a couple seconds here.
I'm so sorry. I completely forgot.
Rules of the game.
Minor effect. Okay. The problem is I don't know if I can do. Can I know there's like a damaged object.
Right,
can
so
I
here.
do?
Oh, so you found the minor effect?
I did. Can I? This might be too much to be a major. Can I strike a specific body part to dislodge whatever spear Fubari had?
It's already been dislodged.
Oh, I completely missed that.
Yeah, that happened with that was the effect that the minor effect that Ino got.
Oh, apologies. I'll just try to distract the next closest choo-choo.
Sure. That works perfectly fine. So all of its tasks are hindered.
Yeah.
Awesome. I know what you want to do.
Oh, shock that bitch again.
Go for it.
Did you say what level it was to hit them?
Difficulty 3. So
Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you.
That is a 14, so it's just a normal hit. 3 more points of damage.
All right. So again, Ino kind of comes forward and just like glomps it again and
The most dangerous glomp.
aggressive learning is now aggressive hugging.
I'm gonna get so good at hugging.
That's what my friend calls Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
I mean, it is.
Fair.
Zariah, what you want to do?
Wait, isn't that capoeira?
No, capoeira is dancing.
Yeah, but it's dance fighting, excuse you.
Yeah. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a grappling martial art, and it is rough. It is currently the kind of accepted grappling martial art if you're doing MMA, because it's remarkably effective at ground game.
Cool.
Capoeira is the troll dance in World of Warcraft.
It is.
Yes. I tried learning capoeira because in order to do it, you have to be coordinated. And I thought, well, if I learn, because I've been doing martial arts for 20 years, like if I learn that, I'll finally become coordinated. I never even mastered the Jenga.
Oh.
Like the stance, just the basic stance, not even any of the kicks or anything. I could not figure out how to move while doing martial arts. So
one of my former roommates did capoeira, and she'd do it in line whenever she'd do the Jenga in line whenever she was bored, and I just would call it her idle animation.
it is a phenomenally interesting martial art. It really is. Anyway, Zariah.
Zariah's gonna watch and laugh because the choo-choo that was on fire should be dead by hit points. Could he take another point of damage per round?
He did take a point of damage when his turn came around.
And he was hit for 3? I thought you said they had 2 hit points.
The one that Lex hit had 2 hit points left.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, no, it still has... It's still on fire, and it's still taking damage, but it has more hit points than that, so...
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, I misheard that. Zariah's gonna extend...
Adesh hit it for 7, which is big.
Yeah. Strong boy. Okay, Zariah's going to then make her staff a long pointy stick and jab at it.
All right. Question for you.
Fire away.
You can because of how your control stick works, you can choose it to be a light, medium, or heavy weapon. Heavy weapons require 2 hands, which a spear can be. So did you want this to be heavy? Okay.
Yep.
Then go ahead and make your attack.
A pike instead.
That's
really
fine.
good with pikes. I got a 20.
20. So you get a major effect.
Woo!
Which is effectively a player intrusion. I'm going to tell you right now, the 6 damage that you normally do with a heavy weapon is enough to kill it. So I don't know what you want to use your major effect for.
I wanted to run into another choo-choo. Before into another choo-choo.
So for this major effect, there's only one other choo-choo left.
Yep.
I would be totally fine with you thrusting into it, having it run into the other choo-choo and setting the other choo-choo on fire.
Perfect. Love it.
Okay. So that's your major effect.
You can't have too many hit points left either, to be honest.
Yeah, it's been hit twice. So, you guys watch as Zariah sits there and you watch as she takes out this, and Fubara, you kind of notice that she just walks around with this stick, which is not an uncommon thing, but it's kind of a nondescript stick. And then suddenly you watch as the stick starts growing and it gets larger and larger, and then it forms a really nice spear point. It just grows a spear point. And then you watch her just kind of hold it in 2 hands and thrust into this choo-choo and kind of just keeps running with it and runs into another choo-choo. I'm going to say that's enough. because it's a major effect. As it runs into the other Choo Choo, you watch both of them kind of get set on fire, and she takes her spear out and kind of puts it in the ground, and there's this little kind of flaming chunk of, like, what's that? Sterno. It basically looks like she's got a little bit of sterno on the end of her spear, just kind of flaming there, and you watch as the remaining Choo Choos just kind of melt down into nothingness.
Elias
Yes,
has a
Adesh.
question.
I believe that last choo choo was on my head.
Uh-huh. That's why I asked.
I was pushed
I
off
forgot
now.
about that.
So did I until just now.
It was the first one, not the last one. The last one was the one that.
Oh, the flaming one was
I
on my
was
head.
fighting.
Fantastic.
The flaming one was on your head, apparently.
And she drove a
So-
spear through to run into the other one. Fantastic. Great.
I'm just due to the fact that
I'm just
it was
being
a
drug along
player
for the ride.
intrusion to do that. I'm going to say, Adesh, you take an additional point of fire damage as
Tight.
it just burns off of your head.
Yeah.
You're just a
Darius.
little bit singed. The ends of your
Darius.
hair.
Cackling.
Do you have to use like peanut butter to get Choo Choo out of your hair?
Probably
Not if
either
it's
peanut
burning
butter
enough.
or
Oh, I
lemon
love
juice.
that. That's yes. That's now
Not
my
if it's
headcanon.
burned
It's a
enough.
bath
it
of
just
tomato
flakes up
sauce.
with your hair.
Oh boy.
So as you all kind of recover from the Choo Choo just kind of appearing out of nowhere, you all wait for a moment. You realize it doesn't seem like anything else dangerous is happening immediately, but
I
unfortunately,
don't know. The music's still playing. There's got to be another one we can't see.
But unfortunately, that is where we're going to end it for today. As always, if you missed any of this, we do have all of our Tears of the Realms episodes right here on the Zelda Universe Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/Zelda Universe TV. Also, check out the YouTube channel. There's lots of cool, amazing stuff that's always going on there. Twitch or youtube.com/Zelda Universe TV. And we constantly have articles and other cool things happening on ZeldaUniverse.net. So check out all that stuff. Otherwise, again, that's going to be all for us today, and we will see you guys next time. All right? Bye-bye.